Hey everyone, welcome to another live stream. And right now, I'm actually going to be talking about the recent trending news of the Rise of Skywalker JJ original cut of the Rise of Skywalker, which has been trending recently, dealing with a lot of controversies and what's going on in the Reddit links. And hold on, let me get everything set up a little better here. So hold on, give me a moment here. Give me a mo. And find this here. I actually meant to put the restrictions, the links. Find this here. Okay, let's see. I'm doing fine, DJ. How about you? And I don't know if I know what you do, Biden. How you doing? Sorry, my nose was itching. Didn't know if anyone wanted to see me scratch my nose. So, gonna change the thumbnail. So, first, I'm gonna post a link to what I know about the Rise of Skywalker production. I'm gonna copy and post that on here. Then I'm going to do the one that recently came out. I think it was yesterday that it came out. 21 hours ago. Copy and paste that in there. And change the thumbnail, of course. Don't know how to do it directly from StreamYard, so kind of working on that. Hopefully the okay. It's very weird. No, I changed it. I told it to save the changes. Okay, there we go. So let me check and see what's going on. So yeah, I'm going to be talking about Rise of Skywalker controversy, and if anyone wanted to jump in and give their thoughts, you all are more than welcome. So I figured I'd go ahead and do all that. But I'll start off with the one where the one that came out 14 days ago, 2 weeks. So here's the one Reddit leak that I read that many of us have. I think some of us have already read it within the fandom minutes, so I'm going to talk about it here. It says here, after Colin had left the project, because originally Colin Trevorrow was going to do the third one back, 2015, after The Force Awakens premiered, or somewhere around there. Colin Trevorrow was going to direct it after Ryan, but I know that Colin Trevorrow wanted Luke to live originally, but Johnson really fucked that up. It was Johnson and Kathleen, as I like to call her that, pretty much agreed to the idea that they should kill Luke. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read it word for word as best as I can, and try to sum it up as much as I can. So, after Colin had left the project, Rian Johnson was immediately Lucas's film's top choice to take over. However, Iger and Horn weren't impressed with The Last Jedi. Thought it was a step down from The Force Awakens, which is understandably so. And Iger is the one that pursued Abrams to come back for this one. And that's even confirmed in the later link. But I've heard rumors that apparently Johnson was not really considered to be coming back for Rise of Skywalker, for whatever reason it was. So yeah. So basically, Abrams had pretty much loathed The Last Jedi and had some serious beef with Rian Johnson. He basically he would only come back if he had complete creative control and wouldn't have to compromise with Kennedy or the Lucasfilm Story Group. And apparently, JJ's first move was to consult with George Lucas on the story for episode 9. They came up with a story that has strong connection to the Clone Wars TV show, which featured the dagger of Mortis and Matt Smith, the son of Mortis. And in short, Matt Matt Smith was originally going to be playing a different character, so he was not going to be the young version of Palpatine back when the leaks, first came about from Jedi Praxis. But anyway, you slice it. It also, the little article, the Reddit article also states that apparently they used many elements from George Lucas's unused sequel treatments. And in reality, Disney wanted this to be another Force Awakens that would pretty much unite all the fans, and hopefully it would be universally loved after Solo swept the box office and the Last Jedi backlash which it suffered. And they pretty much, Disney did not want a Last Jedi on their hands, and for some reason, the film's direction changed radically during midway principal photography, where JJ said that this film wouldn't satisfy all fans, and this is where apparently the studio meddling happened, and they led to the another abandonment of George Lucas's ideas, and nearly every story detail from the initial script and what they were filming was probably abandoned and bastardized, or in a short way, butchered. And Palpatine was originally going to have a presence in the film, but just not as the main villain or to be alive. And they believed that the main villain of the Son of Mortis would not exactly draw audience in, and so they decided to replace the Son of Mortis with Palpatine. And if I recall, back in August of 2018, he was actually called in to he was brought in to, he was going to appear in The Rise of Skywalker. They didn't reveal what his role was going to be, and then by May of last year, it was revealed that he was completely removed from the film, or he was no longer going to be listed on the IMDb and stuff like that. So anything involving Matt Smith was completely cut out of the film, if they even filmed any scenes with him. And then here's where some more juicy details happened. Apparently, let me see if I can, for those who are watching, okay, let me get back to this. It's this, the source whoever posts this on Reddit's from a different person, I believe. It's posted by Eagle Shop. The other one was posted by someone, Lucasfilm Insider. So basically, since shortly, so here's the second one that recently came out yesterday. Since shortly after the release weekend, I have been corresponding with someone that worked closely on the production of The Rise of Skywalker and works for one of the major companies. I cannot disclose here, but I have a verified source to my satisfaction. To protect the source, I'm rewording what we spoke over the last 2 weeks, and I'm submitting it to you in bullet point format. I've written based on what they've told me. The TLDR is what they were upset with the final product of The Rise of Skywalker. Wanted to share their perspective on how it went down and where it went wrong. And here we are. It says the leakers for The Rise of Skywalker had an agenda and are tied to Disney directly. My source confessed that they have had an agenda as well. They're struggling with, and what they're struggling with, ignoring what's been happening to someone who they think doesn't deserve it. JJ always treated everyone on an offset with respect. So my source's agenda is what Disney has done to JJ and how much they screwed him over screwed him over should be something people are at least aware of, whether you like him as a filmmaker or not. And to be honest, JJ's not a bad filmmaker. I think he can be a rather lazy storyteller, and I feel like at times he uses too much lens flare. And Disney was Disney was one of the studios who were in that Bad Robot bidding war last year. Disney never had much interest in Bad Robot as a company, but they did in JJ because they saw WB, who JJ went with in the end, as a major threat. JJ is very successful in bringing franchises back like Mission Impossible, Star Trek, and Star Wars. WB is struggling with the DC, and aside from Wonder Woman, DC is still seen as a bit of a joke in its current state by the GA, which I don't know what that is. Someone can point that out to me. Yeah. And apparently WB wants Abrams for some projects. I hate when freaking. Sorry about that. Okay, sorry about that. JJ is very okay. So I read that. WB wants Abrams for some DC projects. My source said that this generation Star Wars is the MCU and the Marvel's biggest threat is well Operation DC. They want to keep DC in the limbo that they're in the right now. Abrams jumpstarting that franchise with something like a successful audience-pleasing Superman movie makes them nervous. Their goal is to make JJ look bad to potential investors and shareholders. So apparently Disney is pretty much sabotaging JJ's career, which is a really shitty thing to do on Disney's part. Makes me glad I didn't pay any more money for this. I mean, I saw The Rise of Skywalker for free, although I didn't hate it myself, but I have to admit I kind of feel bad for JJ, even if it seems like his hands were tied yet again. And what else? Sorry about that. My source mentions this shortly after the premiere. The Rise of Skywalker we saw last night was not the Rise of Skywalker we thought we worked on. JJ was devastated and blindsided by this. He's been feeling down over the last 6 months because of some of the ridiculous demands Disney had that changed his his movie story. The way it was worded seemed weird. While the scenes were shot, a lot of the changes were made in post-production. The audio was re-recorded and altered. My source said they never seen anything like this before. He's the director, and he wasn't in the know about what they were doing behind his back. Apparently, JJ felt threatened over the month leading up to the premiere. Ryan was never meant to do 9, despite some rumors that he was. JJ was brought back by Iger, not KK. That's what the first article on Reddit talked about. Disney insisted on more fan service, less controversy. JJ's original agreement when he signed on was indicating he would have way more creative control than he did in The Force Awakens. It became evident this wasn't the case only a couple weeks into shooting when the trouble with the meddling started. The reason why I mentioned that, why do we, the reference to Alien 3 is because Alien 3 had a trouble production. There were so many, like 10 different versions of the script written for Alien 3. And what I do know about this is that there was one where apparently Ripley died in one. Ripley was in a coma. Eventually, and there was one where Ripley and Newt were kind of taken off screen somewhere safe, and the film focused on Hicks for a bit, which would have been interesting. And there was actually a script where I think Eric Red's version had pretty much almost everyone dead, and it was set on some kind of a space station. There was the Gibson script, which apparently it took ideas from John Carpenter's The Thing, stuff like that. Alien 3 went through a lot of so many different directions they could have gone, and they ended up fusing elements of some of the screenwriters' ideas and intent of what they were going to do. But when they hired Rennie Harlin, they had in fact hired him. Rennie Harlin didn't want to do another sequel. He actually wanted to go to the alien planet before Prometheus happened. He actually wanted to kind of explore that idea. And I guess the reason why they considered Harlan, because he didn't make the successful Nightmare on Elm Street 4, which was considered the best one of the sequel at the time. And, here he is, attempting to, who knows, him doing an alien an alien film would definitely be a big boost to his career, but they took so much time, going in different directions and ideas. He was still intending to go with the alien planet idea. That's what happened. And as a result, since they couldn't come into agreement, eventually Harlan left the production and actually went on to go do the second Die Hard film. And how should I put this? I feel like I should in the end, they hired a different director that actually finally got them to where, you know, they can get Sigourney Weaver back. It was based on a different idea where apparently it involved this wooden planet, and you know, they finally thought they had a film locked in, and they actually started building sets. And the production designer they hired for was a guy by the name of Norman Reynolds. He actually worked on Empire Strikes Back, hence the, you know, the Star Wars connection right there. And Norman apparently, you know, builds the world according to a guy named Richard Enland. He was actually one of the visual effects supervisors on Alien 3. He built some really gigantic sets, and they started building these wooden planet monastery sets as a result, because of, you know, they were itching towards, you know, filming. And apparently some Fox executives that, you know, who were talking with Ward, you know, basically wanted him to change some things. They wanted him to change the wooden planet idea and stuff like that. And Ward was like, "What the fuck are you doing? This is what you agreed to. We signed off on this." And apparently he got this. He had to wait around for the studio for like an hour or two before he got to another meeting with them. And they gave him a list of demands and changes that they made. And Ward was like, "What the hell is this?" And they want him to do this. You obey this, blah blah blah. And if you don't, you'll be fired. And Vincent Ward, I guess, I don't know if he was fired or he just technically walked away. And that's what he ended up doing, because this is not he did not want to agree to any of these changes that the studio had bestowed upon him. So eventually, I think Walter Hill was going to direct Alien 3, but luckily they found David Fincher based on his MTV music videos that he'd been doing, his successful style of music video, of directing, you know, the visual style that he had, you know, because he did the film, he directed the video of Vogue with Madonna, and that, you know, was definitely a huge impact on her career, because I'm guessing more than likely that album did very well for her. And what was I going to say? And originally he actually worked at ILM before. He actually worked as one of the matte artists on Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, actually. Somehow I just remember that. But yeah, so Fincher was hired, and basically Hill stepped down for the director. He just remained on as producer and writer, and they, like I said, they took elements of one of the scripts by Fasano and the story by Ward, and actually Ward is actually credited for the story. Thing was, however, they spent a lot of money on the unused sets. In fact, they spent $7 million of unused sets for Alien 3, and they had to scrap all that. And that was part of their production budget, which ended up, you know, originally it was going to be at $45 million, but then, you know, the fact that they lost $7 million and had to spend more to do some stuff, makes, you know, because after the filming was done, they had a little interesting post-production history where they had to re-edit some stuff, and stuff was a lot more gorier. They had to edit it way down and stuff like that. And then, like, they didn't even have a completed version of the script actually when they were filming that movie. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is the case that happened with The Rise of Skywalker. They probably didn't have a finalized script because they had to make a complete change overall. So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if there was so much meddling, because as a result, David Fincher suffered the same thing when he was making Alien 3. A lot of studio interference and meddling, you know, having like these people watch over you like a fucking hawk, and, you know, this really annoyed David Fincher. In fact, there was one scene that they didn't want him to shoot, but he pretty much said fuck the studio, and he actually grabbed a camera and Sigourney Weaver and shot the scene. It was where Ripley confronts the alien in the basement, and luckily enough, that scene remained intact in the film, for example. So yeah, it had a great deal of production problems, starting with the fact that, you know, the director was, you know, constantly putting up with studio meddling, and as a result, he was getting to a point where it was draining him so much, and as a result, he ended up walking off production, you know, before it, you know, the camera stopped rolling. So yeah. Anyway, back down to the subject of The Rise of Skywalker. Okay, JJ wanted to do some scenes he thought were important, but Disney shut it down, citing budgetary reasons. May of 2019, JJ argued that those scenes were crucial. He had to let go of one of those scenes. The other scene he insisted on was approved at first. He did reshoots and additional photography in July. The new scene was shot at, I don't know what it says, BR, I don't know what that is, in October. The ending that will blow your mind was a part of this. Older actors were included like Hayden, Ewan, and Samuel, and anyone who wasn't animated. The Force Ghosts weren't meant to be voices because they shot the footage on camera. The actors were in costumes, were supposed to be surrounded by the Force Ghosts to serve as a sort of a barrier between her and the Sith surrounding them. My source thinks, but can't 100% confirm, that this is because of China. It's an office talk of sorts. Some visual effects people claim that they got a list of approved shades of blue that they can use on Luke's Force Ghosts. Cutting this out when the bad blood turned into a nightmare for JJ because the movie he was making was suddenly unrecognizable to him in almost every way. My source knows JJ well enough to know that he's not the yelling type, but apparently in a meeting he yelled along something along the lines of, "Why don't you just put directed and written by Lucasfilm?" Then my source wasn't present for that exchange, but knows someone who were. Disney demanded they shoot some scenes that would have, have things in it for merchandise. The Fly Now was one of them. It was JJ's least favorite scene. And at a November screen of the 2-hour and 37-minute cut, he cringed, groaned, and laughed when the scene was on. Okay. And there's something about the source that JJ was most likely not joking about when he said "you're right" in an interview where they asked him about the Rise of Skywalker criticism. JJ's early November cut was actually 3 hours and 2 minutes long. I would have liked to have seen a 3-hour cut and see how things would have fit together and come to a full close. But yeah, in January, JJ suggested they turn this into 2 films. My source told me this well before Terrio mentioned it in an interview a couple of days ago. When Disney said no, JJ was content with making this 3 hours long. Over a period of 9 months, JJ started realizing that one of his ideas and his old scenes were being thrown out the window or entirely altered by people who had no business meddling with the creatives. Same thing would happen when David Fincher was doing Alien 3. He was, overseen by certain people, this lady telling him that he couldn't do this, couldn't do that. Or, sorry, my mouth is dry. They were not on the same page when it came to creative decisions, and it became obvious that Disney had an agenda in addition to wanting to please the shareholders. Disney could afford messing up 9 for the sake of a bigger picture when it came to protecting things unrelated to 9. The cut that JJ eventually and hesitantly agreed to in early December was 2 hours and 37 minutes long. It wasn't the cut we saw and he wouldn't have approved of, which is 2 hours and 22 minutes long. Apart from the Force Ghosts, there were other crucial and emotional scenes missing. The cut they released looked chopped and taped back together with weak Scotch tape, in JJ's words. Originally, the film opened with Rey's training. Her first scene with Rose was shortly after Rey damaged BB-8. During the training, Rose made a silly joke about how Poe was going to kill her for damaging BB-8. There was a moment where Rey took a minute to process what just happened when she saw a vision during training. She looked distressed and worried. The next scene was noise as the Falcon was landing and Rey runs over there. Those 2 women who kissed at the end were visible in this shot, and they were holding hands. One of them ran towards the Falcon as it landed. Kylo and Mustafar's scene was 2 minutes longer. There was a moment where Kylo seemed a bit dizzy, and his vision was shown as blurry for a second, almost as if time had half stopped. While everyone is in the background with slow-mo fighting, Kylo hears Vader's breathing, then shakes his hand, and time goes back to moving at a normal pace, and he jumps right back to the battle. The scene from the trailer where he knocks down that guy, which did end up in the movie later. They cut some scenes from the Lightspeed skipping segment. Some of the planets that were cut were Kashyyyk, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, Naboo, and Camino. The scene where the TIE fighters are chasing through the iceberg, those corridors were inspired by the video game JJ used to play in the 90s called Rebel Assault 2, the 3rd level in the game with the tunnels on Endor specifically. Jenna was confirmed to be Lando's daughter. It's kind of surprised how they dialed back on that. I know that they left it ambiguous in the theatrical cut. Rey not only killed Kylo's face scar, but she killed Kylo when she healed Ben. Kylo ceased to exist when Rey healed him. My source mentioned that some of the people assumed it was Han Solo who healed him, but that isn't true. It wasn't Han Solo. That was Leia using her own memories as well as Ben's to create the physical manifestation of his own thoughts to nudge him towards what he needed to do. That was her own way of communicating with him, and it wasn't possible without her dying in the process. She made the ultimate sacrifice for her son, and this flew over people's heads with the Disney cut. The late November cut, the last cut, J.J. Pruitt had scenes with Rose and Rey still. J.J. wanted to give her a more meaningful arc. Disney felt that was too risky too. My source mentioned that Chris Terrio said that it was because of the Leia scenes, but this is only partially true because she had 4 other scenes, including 2 with Rey/Daisy that Leia was not in. Finn wanted to tell Rey something. It was always meant to be force sensitivity. In the 3-hour cut, it's explicitly stated. There's actually a moment where Jenna and he were running on top of that Star Destroyer, and Finn needed to unlock or move something, and he force moved it and acted surprised when it happened. That was replaced with the CGI BB-8 fixing whatever he needed to fix on there. It's too bad. I really liked it. I think in all honesty, still, I liked how Finn wasn't treated as much as a joke as he was in the Last Jedi, and the opportunity to show that he was force sensitive and show that there was actually, footage of that actually happening it was a kind of a missed opportunity. And Babu Freak, I believe, was the puppeteer that assisted. That was on Kijimi that would mind wipe C-3PO. Sorry about that. Let me go back here. Babu Freak was nearly cut out because some execs at Disney thought he would be a new Jar Jar. They were really surprised that people loved him this much. He was JJ's idea and was created in collaboration with some artists and puppeteers. The personality was all JJ. There was a bunch of scenes where Rey and Kylo separately went through their quiet moments of reflection to deal with what they're going through. Rey's part, she was going through the realization that there's something sinister about her past, and for Kylo, him was going through regret and remorse of what happened in the past pretty much as well, but trying to shut it out. My source said that Kylo scenes were especially amazing because of Adam Driver's performance and how he managed to portray the inner turmoil within himself. It provided much more context and added a deeper meaning to his battle with Rey and the final redemption arc at the end. It didn't happen so suddenly, and it was more structured than what we got. So I guess it was a lot more organized. There was a little more. It just, it played out more naturally in the original cut, but I guess they really shortened it severely in this version, which is too bad. Because I think Adam Driver actually did a good job. I just wish they would have been more, Kylo and maybe, especially more Ben scenes. And apparently, right here's an interesting thing. The Kylo Rey scene where he dies was at least 4 minutes longer with more dialogue. Ben was always supposed to die. Source added that if he wasn't, that might have been an early draft, which they haven't read. The first draft they read included Lando. The Reylo kiss and Ben's death was not part of the reshoots. It was part of the re-editing. Even the cut that JJ thought was coming out earlier this month had a longer version of that scene that was sorry, let me say that again. Even the cut that JJ thought was coming out earlier this month and had a longer version of that scene than what was shown in the theatrical cut, so it was definitely a lot more shorter than the one we saw. And JJ was against the Reylo pretty much in general. It was Disney's attempt to please both sides of the fandom. And overall, JJ was not happy with where The Last Jedi took the story. The final result is a mix of that story and that story told by Disney and whoever they try to impress, certainly not the fans. JJ is gutted over the final result. Star Wars meant a lot to him. He had to sacrifice large chunks of the story in The Force Awakens, but he was promised more creative control in The Rise of Skywalker. Instead, the leash they gave him was only tightened as time went by. A source said this is the one franchise and the one piece of his work that he didn't want to mess up, and instead it turned into his worst nightmare. When he found out that he was blindsided with the cut they presented, he said, "What the fuck?" When Kylo was fighting the Knights of Ren at the end, and the Williams music that was used for it was not what he wanted at all, he seemed to think it was out of place. Last bullet point says something about the JJ cut still exists and will always exist. We'll most likely never see it unless someone accidentally leaks it. Well, hopefully someone does leak it and we do get that version. Hashtag, you see a lot of things trending about hashtag release the JJ cut. I would like to see it. I like to actually see what that cut's like. I really do. Because I feel like we might have gotten a better version. The disappointing thing is, would that have, added a little more battle to Palpatine, because one of the main gripes about the Rise of Skywalker is I wish, whenever Ben Solo turns back to the light and he's standing with Rey with his lightsaber and all that, they should have at least fought Palpatine, or Palpatine should have fought them with his own lightsaber. Or at least whenever after he force drained him and Ben grabbed his lightsaber, he should have challenged Palpatine to fight and not fight like a coward, and they could have had a little bit of a battle. Him and Rey should have really taken him on, and I think that would have added a little more to it, and then Palpatine can play with his motions, basically toy with him and whatnot while they were fighting. That sort of deal. The very reason why I think it compares with Alien 3, because like I said before, it seems like this film and Alien 3 had a real trouble post-production. The only reason I would say the Alien 3 was worse because it went through like 10 different versions of the script. During pre-production, they were going to hire 2 directors at one point. Or they did hire one at one point. Actually, hired 2. Sorry, they hired 2. None of it worked out, and basically they had to hurry up and get another director on board. They kind of threw way too much for a first-time director, because before then, David Fincher only did music videos before this. I think mainly he did a lot of Madonna stuff, and I don't know what else he did. But anyway you slice it, David Fincher had some potential with him, because he was able to direct 7 after Alien 3, and that was well received, and audiences even liked it. I even got that on Blu-ray. But I know that Ward's version of Alien 3 would have actually had Ripley actually alive, and I actually remember reading that script. And then there was, I don't know. So, what do y'all think? Whoever's in here, would y'all like to discuss it? Would JJ's cut be a massive improvement over what we got? Unfortunately, there's only one person watching. I guess it's already been trending. Thing is, studios in general don't know what the fuck they're doing. They need to really make sure they maintain their word, their honor. If you're going to give someone complete creative control, you honor your world. You don't try to destroy that integrity. And basically, Disney destroyed that. They destroyed, they promised him something, and then they flat out lie to him and try to meddle with him. Probably more of Bob Iger's doing. Don't know if Kathleen Kennedy really had much involvement in this, because we also heard a rumor that there was a Kathleen Kennedy cut, which would have been far worse if that was true, where basically Rey stumps a mud hole in the Emperor. I'm going to see if I'm going to invite Brian and see if he wants to come in. And I was wondering if Mr. Pete wants to join. I'll see if he's available. But yeah, that's what I've basically said in my these radical changes and everything about this movie sounds very convoluted and a clusterfuck. And even more of a reason why Disney definitely didn't have a plan. If anything, JJ should have done all 3 movies and had some advice and supervision from Lucas, but more than likely Disney might have pushed him out of the way, or Bob Iger would have pushed him. Whoever said, "Hey, you sold me the Star Wars, you're no one in charge. Get the fuck off the set," is what Bob Iger would have told him. So yeah. That's what would have happened. But yeah, Rise of Skywalker could have had a great potential to be a good finale. At Sins at best, it's really just average. There's some good moments. There's some not so good moments. The pacing seems off. I don't know. You tell me. does JJ's cut, if it even existed, because they say it's supposedly 2 weeks in, that's when they start meddling and demanding a lot more changes. I mean, if anything, how long was Matt Smith? How long did they use Matt Smith for? Did they ever film a majority of his scenes that he was going to be in, the Son of Mortis? Only one person is watching. Man, I must really suck at this. Okay, let me see. See if I invite Mr. Pete. I've invited Mr. Pete. I invited Brian. Yeah, I'll stop cam for right now. So, based on what I've read, trying to, see if, trying not to piss everyone off and at least respect the legacy. Do y'all think the Son of Mortis would have been a better villain, than Palpatine? For popularity's sakes, probably not, but at least for the sake of the story that JJ wanted to tell, I think it might have been better. It showed that JJ was willing to commit and actually make a good film. He didn't want to mess this up, in other words. But sadly, that wasn't the case, because any type of corporation like Disney or 20th Century Fox or any other movie studio, Paramount and all that other stuff, they're going to always think they know everything, because they believe all the money they got, they always think they know it all about stuff like that. That shows they don't have a creative vision in mind, to be honest. It just shows they have none of that. They don't know what good storytelling is, as long as it makes them fucking money. Just like the same thing with Jerry Jones. Even when we didn't exactly have the great seasons, fans were still buying the jerseys, buying the tickets. It was still, putting money in Jerry Jones' pockets. It's what I observed earlier with DCF 1980. As long as we keep, giving Jerry money, buying tickets, buying the merchandise, and reserving seats, up in those nice little suites and luxurious suites and whatnot, and reserving tickets for entire families, if they want to have just to see a game, that puts money in Jerry Jones's pockets. He's going to continue to think that Jason Garrett is the one person to coach the Cowboys because Jason Garrett's family. I mean, Jason Garrett's father was a scout with the Cowboys. That's why they're so interconnected, and it's hard to let them go. I like to believe that Jerry's kind of toying with us to some degree, but I honestly don't know. I don't. I know one person's watching, but I don't know who that person is. Whoever this one person is watching, feel free to reveal yourself. I would like someone to join. I still have a little stream going on. I know the Drunk 3PO's on, but I think he's getting a lot of people on his channel than me, so. And I'm still feeling stuff from all those chicken enchiladas that I ate. Good stuff. Boy, oh boy. Okay. Man, oh man. I'm that boring. For all I know, they may not want to come in here and talk about it because I decided to invite Rosetta in case she wanted to talk. I know what she'll say. Fuck Disney, duck Disney, fuck JJ, and pretty much all them people. Which but on this one, if this is what he truly went through, a lot of people said this could be just rumors, but considering the fact that JJ's being very diplomatic about it and being holding it in together, I got to give him credit for that. But if this really truly did happen for JJ, I really feel bad for him because he certainly shouldn't have been taken advantage like that. Some people even said that maybe he should have walked away, but who knows? If he was under contract with Disney, he might have been in breach of that contract and he might have been sued, and he was pretty much in a rock and a hard place for all we know. So, yeah. Oh.
Hello.
Hey, Rosetta.
Can't stay long, but thought I'd come by and see you.
Yeah. I was just talking about, the original cut of J.J. Abrams' Rise of Skywalker, and I don't know if you've heard about it, so.
I am right now over in Super Chats trolling Drunk's stream he's doing on it right now.
Whose stream?
Drunk 3PO.
Okay, yeah, I knew who he was on, so I think he's talking about that too.
Yes, he is, and Jeremy made a comment about how he didn't used to wear the hat, and they were saying it's a good thing you wear it now, and I kind of threw a super over saying that he always looks better the more of him's covered.
Yeah.
And then I screenshotted his shocked face when they were reading it and tweeted that out to him.
That's definitely going to get some views for sure.
I'm just a little shit.
Yeah. Yeah. There's only like one person watching, and I guess they find all the other popular YouTuber. I guess they like their version of what they're talking about better than mine. So, but they have a lot more subs than I do. So yeah.
I don't know. I ended up on a major stream last night.
That's just my phone ringing.
I ended up on a stream that had almost 1,000 viewers during part of it.
Wow.
I got invited on to Star Wars Girl last night.
That Star Wars girl, huh? Wow.
Yeah. I'm still shocked.
Did you join her stream?
For 3 hours.
For 3 hours. Wow.
I even got to meet Ethan Shiver.
Wow, that's pretty fucking awesome.
I had a really good night.
Well, that's you definitely should embrace it for sure, Rosetta. The fact that you got to talk with Anna and Ethan EVS or whatever, I think that's his the acronym. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
And Tom Connors and Drunk were both on it with us.
Oh, Orange Hat's joining. Let me add you in. How y'all doing?
Hey, Orange.
How you guys doing?
Fine. I was talking about the controversy and how I feel like this movie compared to Alien 3. And DJ Donnelly says hi to you, Rosetta.
What movie?
I was talking about how it compares to Alien 3, how it went through some a very troubled production history.
What movie though compares to Alien 3?
I'm talking about JJ's Rise of Skywalker's original cut in Alien 3.
Oh, yeah.
How there was a lot of studio meddling and interference, and David Fincher went through that thing. Except the difference was David Fincher was a first-time director for doing a film. Because before then, he did music videos. In fact, I think he did one with Madonna. I think it was called Vogue, and more than likely that song was a hit, and that album must have sold well. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, my thoughts on this whole rumor thing that I heard about this. How J.J. Abrams got thrown under the bus and how there's a J.J. cut and whatnot. Do I think there's a J.J. cut? Huh?
My opinion, so what?
Do I think there's a J.J. cut? No, I do not. I think that there is a different cut, sure, but it's going to be a Disney cut that's alternate to what they had. I mean, sure, JJ had an idea and a vision of what he wanted, but at the end of the day, he still had to bow down to his corporate overlords and, well, do the nasty. Yeah.
I was mentioning earlier that maybe JJ should have left, but who knows? He might have been under contract, and if he breached it, he might have.
Yeah.
So.
Disney doesn't play. They will make you sign your freaking life away. And the way that I see it, I think that... or when I saw Josiah's video on this about how basically they want him to look bad because he's going to Warner Brothers next, which is a major competitor to Disney.
Because of DC.
For the DC movies. And they don't want him looking good. Because if
he
they
doesn't
do
look
a
good
good
anyways.
If he does a good movie, he's going to reinvigorate the franchise. Now, if he's doing the whole Black Superman thing, I'm sorry, folks. I just don't understand the whole Black Superman thing. This is not me being racist. This is me simply saying it sounds silly.
Yeah.
I mean, why is there a Black Superman? I mean, is it Kal-El?
Yeah.
I mean, who is this Black Superman?
Is he a Kal-El brother from another mother, I guess?
All right, if it's another Kryptonian, I have no problem with it. Yeah. But if it's Kal-El, I'm going to have a freaking problem with it. Because it's just race swapping needlessly and whatnot. And I think it's ridiculous. I mean, did you guys see the Bounding article where people literally got traumatized over the whole Ben Solo thing?
Oh, I actually, that's what I was doing last night on stream. Was we were reading their tweets mocking them. I actually was on with Star Wars Girl doing it.
I mean, I just read through that whole article. I actually read out loud on my video that I'm going to release tomorrow how this person got so traumatized, how she built a shrine to Kylo Ren in her freaking house. A 32-year-old built a flippin' shrine to this character, and how she freaked out at the premiere and all that. It's like, oh my!
She basically put Kylo Ren on a pedestal. Good to know, huh?
Yeah, it's like, dude, fictional freaking character.
Yes, go out in the world. Go step away from fantasy and go be in reality for once.
I mean, that's the thing. Her friend who wrote that little dissertation thing, actually, she thinks she went overboard, or she thought she overstepped after she told her friend to have a reality check and whatnot. And she then says, am I the asshole? No, you are not the asshole. In fact, you didn't do enough. You did. What I would have said is you need some serious freaking help if you are allowing yourself to get so bent out of shape over the dumbest shit. I mean, sure, we all have our issues with episode 9, and we have voiced our opinions on it, but we never freaking threatened to kill anybody or threatened to blow up a building over it.
Oh, there's been threats of that? Wow.
I mean, these people have gone seriously nuts.
Yeah, Kylo Ren or Ben Solo is not their life. They definitely need a reality check. I mean, come on. It's just a movie. It's just fiction.
It's a movie. Exactly.
We have way bigger issues than that. We are dealing with, hunger issues with the homeless, and certain political and identity politics that need to be addressed. Come on. It's a fucking movie.
And there's no Ben Solo. There's only Ben Skywalker.
Exactly. I mean, these people have seriously gone off the deep end, and they honestly do need help.
Maybe, what's his name? Dr. Drew can help them. Dr. Drew.
No, they need a harsher hand. They need Dr. Phil.
Yeah, maybe Dr. Phil. Yeah, Dr. Phil.
No, they need Valium.
Or antidepressants or something. Yeah. But in comparison, have y'all seen Alien 3? Just out of curiosity?
Oh, yeah. I saw that years ago. I still have it, too.
Which version do you prefer, the theatrical cut or the assembly cut?
I'll have to watch the assembly cut.
Yeah.
What's the assembly cut? What's the differences?
They had I think they had 30 minutes in. They changed some stuff. There's also, I think they kind of hinted there was a different face hugger aboard the Sulaco. It wasn't just a normal face hugger. It was like a super face hugger carrying 2 embryos. Like one was a queen, one was like a drone to protect the queen or something like that. I think in a very early work print or a uncut version, I think there was a lot more footage on there. Whoever sold, there was bootleg movies for that. There was a lot more footage on it, and I think there was other undisclosed bootlegs. I think there might have been there's a film called Sliver or something with Sharon Stone, which had the much different ending to it, which had the volcano ending, which was rumored. That's basically these are VHS type of bootlegs that you see. So I don't remember what the site was, but I remember there's something along those lines like that. So. There's been other films, but I can't really think of any of what they are off the top of my head. So yeah.
One of my favorite lines from Alien 3 was from Peter Postlethwaite. He also played in The Lost World for reference of who he was. But his character in Alien 3, he says, right, 85, and the guy's like, please don't call me that. And
I remember that.
She asks, what's with this 85 thing? A bunch of us snuck into the records room, got a peek at it. His file. It's his IQ.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God. That is just so hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'll have to, if I can hunt down an assembly cut of it, I'll definitely have to check it
The
out.
assembly cut is on Blu-ray. Actually, there's the theatrical cut and the assembly cut. Or there's actually, I take it back. On the Blu-ray, it's actually like a special restored edition of. I think that's what they called it. I have to go take a look at it.
Well, I wonder if I can actually get it in a. Hold on one second. I'm going to look in my Movies Anywhere app. If I get cut out of the stream, my apologies. I'll jump back in.
Okay.
Yeah, let me just pull that out.
Must have thrown that little thing away. I thought my Alien Anthology Blu-ray was called something else. It was a special restored version of the whatever it was called. Because they actually brought back the actors to re-record some of their dialogue. Because in the assembly cut on the DVD, some of the dialogue you couldn't really hear or understand. So when they did the Blu-ray, they actually brought a good majority of the actors back, and they were trying to make the ADR and the dialogue sound like it was all at very normal levels. So yeah.
Interesting. You just got really loud too, by the way.
I did?
Yeah. Both of you did.
Maybe
Movie
your
Guys.
system's having an error.
Movie Guide 2005. Hi, everyone that is in the live stream. How you doing, man?
All right, there's the Alien thing. I'm on my Movies Anywhere app. I'm actually... Okay, there's Alien Director's Cut, Alien 3 Special Edition.
Is this the DVD or the Blu-ray?
This is digital, online, the Movies Anywhere app.
Okay.
Let me see what Special Edition says.
Yeah, I think
After... All right, 92 theatrical version, audio commentary, isolated score, wreckage, Making Alien 3, pre-production, promotional shoot archive, wait. 2 hours, 25 minutes for the special edition, and an hour 54 for the normal movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, special edition is most likely the assembly cut.
Yeah, it was much closer to David Fincher's original version.
Yeah, apparently they did the assembly cut in 2003.
Yeah, I remember saving up money to buy that DVD set because each film was gonna have a different version. They were all gonna have the theatrical cuts, plus it would also get different cuts. But for some reason, back in the day, there was a particular sound quality, like DTS. They can only fit it on the first film and then on the fourth one. They couldn't do it on the second and third because they took up too much room, supposedly. But thankfully, when the Blu-ray came around, since it has a whole lot of more room, they were able to have different options for the sound quality.
And there's a director's cut. Wow, they got director's cuts for all of them. Alien, Aliens, and Alien 3.
Even Alien Resurrection had one too. It had an opening and alternate ending, I believe. I think there were bits and pieces sprinkled in the special edition of Alien Resurrection. So,
how much does these ones cost? I mean, I got Covenant on my digital library, $14.99.
I'm guessing you have Amazon.
Yeah, I'm on my Kindle. All right, $14.99. Resurrection, probably going to be $14.99. Let's see here. Yep, $14.99. So chances are all these movies are $14.99.
Yep.
Aliens. No, Aliens doesn't have a director's cut on this one. Let's see.
Is it just a special edition?
It's just Aliens, like Alien 2 is Aliens. $14.99. So 15, 15, 15. That's $45. And all right, so all these are basically $14.99 plus what is Prometheus right now? Just out of curiosity, because I couldn't find the digital code, so I'd have to get it. $14.99. So yeah, I'm looking at $75 if I want to get all of the movies for it.
You can actually get the Alien Anthology, the Blu-ray, for like around $20 on Amazon. It's the entire film series.
Yeah, but does it have the digital codes for all of them?
Oh, you don't like watch? You don't have a Blu-ray player?
I literally don't have a TV or a Blu-ray player or any of that crap because I don't watch TV, and I don't all my Blu-ray because I decided to give my Blu-ray player wasn't really mine, it was my aunt's when I was living with her and whatnot, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, apparently it's for Alien 3. It's referred to the special edition, but it's called the restored work print version. So that's what it's actually called.
What the yeah.
So what are you typing there, Rosetta? Just typing out those trolls?
No, just trying to deal with something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, orange hat's gone. Shit.
Sorry if I'm distracted.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I was off the main screen for too long.
No problem.
But yeah, at $75, I don't mind paying that because my digital library, I've got so many freaking movies. I mean, I just got the Dark Knight trilogy and the Matrix trilogy. I'm trying to get all my movies on digital for the most part. That way, well, I don't need to buy them anymore, you know? But yeah, I had all the freaking MCU movies. I don't need to get them all now because I've basically seen them, and I also got the Disney Plus app, so I basically have all of them on there now. Sadly, I mean, I'm not proud that I have Disney Plus, but you know what? I had to get it for expanding the content on my channel.
Well, that's completely understandable. It's what you make your choice. As I've said, I never push anyone else into joining what I do.
Exactly. I mean,
nobody else has to hate it with me.
Oh, trust me, I hate Disney. That's the only amount of money they're getting from me every month is $6.99. That's all they're ever going to get from me. I mean, when I go to the theater here, I can honestly say that they don't ever get my money if I watch a movie from Disney. I get what is known as the Disney treatment. They do the whole gift card, and they don't punch the ticket.
Good choice.
Yep. I mean, private little theaters, small town theaters, it's the coolest stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they understand people, they respect people's wishes and whatnot, where if it was a bigger theater, they would indeed do it. Hold on one second.
All right.
have to go get ready for my stream, though.
Gotcha. Thanks for stopping by, Rosetta. Appreciate it.
Yeah, take care.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Orange Hat is still here, but he's on silent right now, so. Invited Brian, but he doesn't. Either he's got something going on or is at work. I don't know. But yeah.
Rosetta just popped off. What's going on?
Well, she had to leave. She had to go do her stream, so yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was looking up on. Excuse me. I was looking up on YouTube how much it would have been, if you were to watch it there. I think it was the same price if you bought it. It was like $14.99. But you said you didn't find the special edition of Aliens?
Yeah, Aliens are not on the Movies Anywhere app. No.
Well, do you have Well, you'd have to probably sign. You have to put your credit card information, but they do have it on YouTube.
Huh.
For $14.99, or you can rent it for like $4.32 with tax.
Nice. As like I said, when it comes to certain things, I have no problem. But when it comes to Disney movies, I will absolutely not get a Disney movie on digital. When it comes to Rise of Skywalker or whatever that ruin of Skywalker I call it, I will honestly get that movie to complete the series on digital, but I will get it through redemption of a digital code. I will not purchase it.
Yeah.
So I can honestly say that I didn't spend money on it. I just got it through a code.
Yeah, it's a good way of putting it. Good way to not, But in all honesty, I still thought it was better than The Last Jedi, so, that's...
Yes, the movie was, in my opinion, better than Last Jedi in some ways, but in other ways it was very much worse. But for the most part, the movie has a better entertainment value than The Last Jedi.
Yeah, for sure. And excuse me. For some reason, this movie moved at a faster pace compared to The Last Jedi, which is why I guess that's why they go with a tight knit pace. Because right in the middle, it just really cuts to Mustafar, which is where Kylo Ren was on, and he's on there for maybe a minute at most. Where originally he was in there a little bit more.
I don't think he was on Mustafar.
That's what I've heard, that's the planet he was on Mustafar.
No, he wasn't on Mustafar. Mustafar wasn't in this movie at all. Let's see here. They had Exegol, Kajimi, that planet that was in the beginning of it.
Asada?
And
Asana, I think it was called, or something. The desert planet.
Something like that. And then the other moon of Endor.
Yeah.
Where somehow a humongous chunk of the Death Star survived.
Yeah.
We all, in the chat, we've all seen Return of the Jedi. Yes, we all saw how the Death Star blew up, right?
Right.
Let's be honest with ourselves. Did we see any humongous chunks blow off of that sucker? Neither did I, man. This movie has so many plot holes, and the reason he gave, the dark side of the Force has many possibilities, some considered unnatural. It's like, yeah, but how did you survive?
Exactly. I'm trying.
And then he tries answering again. Yeah, that's not working for me. How'd you survive? Did you somehow use the Force to reattach every molecule of every atom inside you? Or every atom of every molecule and somehow construct yourself a new zombie body? How did you survive?
Yeah. From what I heard, the novel is going to answer that, supposedly.
Well, then I'm going to have to get a hold of the novel. I actually tried reading episode 8 novel, I couldn't. That's the only book that I never finished. I read the episode. I read the episode 7 novel, and in that book, it is very clear that Kylo Ren knows who Rey is. But it's like, whatever.
Yeah. A lot of people theorized at the time that she might have been a Kenobi, but I did hear the Palpatine theory being thrown out there too. So, you there? Oh, yeah.
Yes, I am.
Oh.
Just 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay. I can't remember what was the last thing I said now. Fuck. Oh yeah.
Yeah, a friend of mine who doesn't like Disney Star Wars because they screwed with it is now learning that they changed the name of Korriban in Disney canon to Moraband, and also now it's apparently Exegol. I'm like, I don't think that Moraband turned into Exegol. I think that Exegol is just a different thing altogether.
Yeah. When I was talking with Mr. P, I meant to say something. When we saw that huge floating cube, to me it reminded me of like a monolith from 2001. Looking back.
Yeah.
If you've seen 2001, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So how's your day been? Or how was your day today? Did you have to work?
Well, technically, I am now employed because my landlady, she takes care of mentally handicapped people, and I just got approved to be a reserve for her, so technically I am employed now. And I'm able to watch them in her absence if need be.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, I got a job now. I mean, yep. And other than that, my day was spent helping my landlady with other things, heavy lifting and scrubbing grease off of an Emerald Lagasse pan.
Well,
that
good
was really kicked on there.
Good old-fashioned manual labor.
Yep.
I forget, where are you from again? Where you at? You're somewhere on the east side, I think.
I am in Tupper Lake, New York, in the heart of the Adirondacks.
Oh, in New York. Okay. Yeah, Pete was in New Jersey. I actually invited him on here again in case he wanted to join in, but I guess he's not going to be able to join in. You know, Mr. Pete, I think you might know him.
Mr. Pete, searching for 800 subs?
Yeah.
Yep, I've heard of him. I sub to him. He subs to me.
Yep, and we all can use some good tasting subs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking of craving one from a place called Tucci's. I have a good tasting turkey sub. It's a spicy turkey sandwich that I like to get. Some provolone, some fresh jalapeno, lettuce, spicy mustard, onions, red onions or olives and stuff like that, and some jalapeno chips, or jalapeno, but I call them jalapeno just for fun of it. Yep. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you hungry.
Oh, trust me, that stuff doesn't make me hungry. If I had anything spicy, I'd quarantine the state.
Oh, you're about to, you'd actually, okay. You quarantined.
Yeah, I mean, if I have any food uh, that is spicy, let's just say that, um, well, yeah, let's just say that it would not be good.
Well, they do make a good Philly cheesesteak there, too.
Yeah. Let's see here. Home messenger. Just gotta.
Come on. Fucking Garrett needs to be fired. So I'm just talking about something sports related.
Yeah. Yeah. Friend of mine asked what my new job is as well because I put on Facebook. It's like, well, people can stop bitching now. I'm technically employed. Because my dad used to give me a bunch of shit because I haven't had a job in a while. Well, hard times and all that. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
my dad actually messaged me earlier. He's like, "What do you mean by technically employed?" I'm like, "I get workman's comp if I am or because I am now technically employed because the hours are random. Basically, I'm only employed or I'm only on the clock if my landlady leaves the house and the other residents are here. So when she leaves and the other residents are here, it is my responsibility to watch them and to care for them and whatnot. And that is when I am on the clock. When she comes back, I'm no longer on the clock. So that workman's comp then takes over and whatnot. And I told my dad this, and he's like, "Okay, good, yeah." It's like, "Good, yeah." Now you can stop bitching at me.
Yeah, anything you can do to get your father off your back, that's always a good thing.
Trust me, I had both my dad and my mom on my back about all this getting a job shit, except that, I mean, Rosetta knows the reason why I do not prefer to work, especially in an area where people know me.
Mm-hmm.
And also she also knows why I really do not want to risk working around females because, well, to basically put it long story short, I was falsely accused of those kind of crimes. Me Too era stuff.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was incarcerated for 282 days, unjustly, by the way. And literally, after seeing that a 12-year-old got the police called on him for his backpack brushing a woman's backside. Yet, this is the Me Too era, and I'm not even going to freaking risk that shit. I mean, I already have a false accusation against me. Even after I got out, I mean, the case was not thrown out. I was bullied into taking a deal for something I did not do. It's BS. But yeah, I mean, no, I don't have to register or anything like that. Thank God.
Yeah.
But still, your life is turned upside down.
Yeah,
And I just have a lot of trust issues when it comes to certain situations, such as a work environment where the only options you have are work environments where you are in close quarters to women, you have to move around, and there's not a lot of space to move around people. So yes, your body is going to brush up against people and whatnot. So yeah, I am not even going to chance that shit. not until like 2023 when I know that protection order, which is a mandatory thing nowadays, it's mandatory that a protection order gets placed on you in these situations. I mean, not that I even want to go anywhere near my accuser. I mean, that woman is seriously a stone cold psychopath.
Is there any way you can take her to court and sue her on false accusations?
Nope, that would have only worked if I had actually fought the case and was found not guilty. But because I was forced into taking the deal, they literally, put it this way, I was pushed. I'm borderline autistic, and I have ADHD. Not a good combination in jail. Plus, you are, with the charges or any sexual charges, a person should immediately go into protective custody because people like to go after, or inmates will go after people who have those kind of charges. So you're put into protective custody. You are only allowed out of your cell for an hour a day. So yeah. And I was literally, after 282 days, I was at my wit's end. I felt that if I had to endure another week, even with the trial, I was going to get boxed, which means I was going to do something to violate the rules, and I would get thrown into a box where you're only allowed out of your cell for 15 minutes a day. And that's only to take a shower. There is no cold water in shower or in jail showers. So your skin gets really coarse and rough during all that stuff. Now, if I had fought, and also the DA, they knew they couldn't win. But so they kept on pushing the whole thing. If you're found guilty, you could get 25 to life. And that's not technically true. The crime or the charges that I received carry a sentence of 10 to 15 years if found guilty. So, yeah, if I had been found innocent, I would have sued the county of Onondaga, because that's where I was living at the time. And I would have also sued my accuser, and not that she would have been able to pay anything, but still, I would have sued her ass as well, and her family, because they also threw my name through the mud. And I would have sued the boyfriend of my accuser because he made false statements that were injurious to my reputation as well. I mean, a lot of this crap happened, and it's just, I got out January 19th, 2018. I am I had to, this was before I found the Phantom Menace. So I basically had to dig myself out of the depression that I felt. There were times that I dreamt that somebody's knocking at the door, I open it up, a gunshot goes off, and, well, yeah, basically, there was all sorts of trauma that I went through. If a person randomly grabs me for no reason, I will freak out. It's not just because of the autistic part of me, but it's also because of the traumatic part of me, of how the arrest went down when I was arrested. I mean, when somebody grabs you and you have a mind like mine, time literally slows down to a crawl. Like 1 second is like 45 seconds in your mind. So when the cops grabbed me, I'm a black belt in martial arts. The cops grabbed me, I'm like, my person has just been violated. Do I defend myself accordingly and risk even worse results? Or do I play this out and hopefully something good will come of this? I, of course, chose the latter, But believe me, I was, in that 1 second, I had completely read the entire situation. And it's like, this is not a situation you want to escalate. I mean, the mind can do amazing things. I mean, people say that autism is a handicap, but yes, in a way it is, but it's also an advantage. I mean, when it comes to movies, you can notice things that everybody else misses on the first watch through. I mean, when I saw The Dark Knight in theaters, just as an example, I saw in the passenger side mirror, you can actually see Harvey Dent getting into the car, where Maroney's getting in the car.
Yeah,
and stuff.
Very quick.
And
shot.
Everybody's, yeah, it's like you can notice all the little things, and it's pretty cool. But yeah, enough of that very gloomy and depressing story that I just told on a movie entertainment channel. Sorry, folks, didn't mean to give you all the doom and gloom kind of stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's not very many people watching. There's like one person watching.
Yeah. Thing is, my story, it's sort of a cautionary tale, but it's also a story that is to let people know there is such a thing as false accusers out there, and the whole believe all women thing is
yeah. That's
BS.
why at times I feel like I should definitely go MGTOW. I'm sure you've heard that term.
I've heard it, but I do not know what it means.
And there's always, and some people have talked about how people can falsely accuse you and stuff like that. And even when you're married and when your marriage isn't going well, they'll try to turn around and flip the switch on you, falsely accuse you and stuff like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some not so good men out there sometimes that do abuse their wives, but there is actually some us good people out there that actually will treat their wives, like they should be treated. And you never know, they'll just flip a switch and go psychotic and try to falsely accuse you. And better have something to like record that, or to ensure that that you're definitely innocent, because sometimes they're going to automatically take the woman's word over all of us any day of the week.
Oh yeah, I mean, that is one of the things that the DA actually said to me in the presence of my lawyer. You do know that there is a slight chance that the jury could easily just forgo all evidence and believe the accuser. And so what they offered was, we drop all charges except for a misdemeanor of endangering the welfare of a child, with no specifics as to what the charge or the endangerment was. You cannot sue the county for unjust incarceration, because they realized that I was going to sue if I won. Also, you get to go home. They hit me. They knew exactly how to do it. The one thing I wanted the most, they offered. And if I could go back in time, I would visit myself in jail, and I would tell myself, they're going to give you the one offer that you want. Believe me, you do not want it. You will want to fight it, and believe me, you will win. Because there is absolutely no way I would have been found guilty. Because first off, I did nothing. Secondly, the timeline that my accuser gave is an impossible timeline. I was not living in the place where she said I did things to her. At the time, she said I did those things to her. It's like, that would have been a trick. I was like 2 zip codes over. Not living there.
Mm-hmm.
What else you got? Because this kid happened to be, she said I did this stuff to her as a kid. And which is disgusting in its own right. I mean, look on my eyes. basically have said through the years, pedophiles should be death penalty and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I grew up with a father who worked at a federal prison.
Mm-hmm.
My brother works at that same federal prison. So I grew up with a very healthy respect of the law.
Mm-hmm.
Me, or when it comes to kids, I protect kids with pretty much paternal reaction. I'm very good with kids. That's one of the reasons why I was always entrusted to babysit for friends and whatnot. Now, the kid that accused me of stuff, her sisters and her were babysat by my aunt and I and whatnot. But yeah. And she's the only one, because they would have had character witnesses. They would have had, I had a lot of people willing to testify. People that I babysat as kids. Did he ever do anything inappropriate with you? They would have easily been able to truthfully say, no, he never did. So I was like, yeah, why is she suddenly saying this stuff? You know, it makes no sense. Plus, how could I have done this in a house that was on the market and I was living one town over, but 2 zip codes away? So that was weird too.
Yeah.
But yeah, she made descriptions of other things, like my aunt, who I was living with at the time, aunt of the accusation and of the timeline she gave. She says that my aunt was walking with a walker. And I'm like, that's a neat little story, because my friend literally bought my aunt her first walker as a Christmas present the Christmas after we moved out of that house. So she wasn't using a walker when we were babysitting you. Didn't happen.
Yeah. Wow.
It's just, yes. I just realized I went on a total tire, or I just completely hijacked this whole freaking stream. Sorry about that.
No problem. I guess it was good to kind of get that out there. And but I appreciate you bringing up the awareness of false accusations, especially when you're in a completely different area and you're 2 zip codes away. That should already automatically nullify you as, you know, not being as not guilty.
Oh yeah, it's not, or the DA, when they got a hold of this, that's called exculpatory evidence. Or the protocol usually is, you drop the charges. But no, this is New York State. Very blue. And they want to believe all women. This was just as Harvey Weinstein was getting accused of shit. Want urged to pay, you know? So that's when they gave the devil's deal. And sadly, I took it. Because if I hadn't, I would have immediately taken legal action, and I would have said, yeah, I'm going to sue the county. I'm going to want $25 million. That is $1 million for each year they wanted to put me away for. Now, realistically, I would have gotten something like $5 million for damages, but I would have stated, I want $25 million and I'll see you in court. But,
yeah. I just hope I don't get into that type of situation.
Believe me, anybody who says believe all women, tell them to look up the name Nikki Jovino, Yovino. And then you tell them, after reading all about that woman, to tell them whether or not they can honestly say believing all women is a good idea. Because that woman falsely accused 2 college students of sexually assaulting her when she had consensual sex with both. And after they got their love was given sentencing, she was supposed to do 6 years. The judge got rid of 3 of those years or suspended 3 of those years, and 2 years of good time. So she only did a year in jail or prison, and I think 5 years probation. But while she was at their sentencing, the victims, the real victims of this case, which were the 2 college students, one explained how he was $35,000 in debt, or $30,000, and how the other one has been harassed, bullied, death threats, and all of that stuff to the point where he has completely closed himself off from society. They got their lives ruined, and you want to know what she was doing during and their statements before or at her sentencing? Smiling, smirking, shaking her head, and all of that. As if, yeah, they deserve it. They're assholes. Even though they weren't, and they didn't deserve it. She ruined their lives. She could give 2 shits. So, yeah, if anybody says, oh, we should believe all women, you tell them to look up Nikki Jovino.
How did you spell the last name? Y-O what?
Jovino. I mean, ever since I got out of jail, I've been paying attention to a lot of false rape accusations. And Daily Wire actually covers a lot of them as well. And I am so happy that they do, because it shows me that there is media outlets out there that will cover this sort of thing.
As for the 2 college students, how much time did they serve?
The 2 college students, they didn't serve any time.
Okay, good. How were they able to figure out that she was falsely accusing them? Just by evidence, or what?
The cops started noticing changes in her story, and they found out, and then she later came forward and said that she did it.
She gets a year. She should have gotten more.
Yeah, she should have gotten at least 10 to 15. Or actually, no, make that 15 to 30.
Mm-hmm.
2 cases, or I would have done 2 charges of false accusation or false reporting, but I still think that they should have harsher punishments for people who make the false accusations, because you are ruining people's lives when you do that. And now I gotta pull my dang bed out from the wall because something just went down the side of my bed. Wonderful thing about Kindles.
Oh, hey, Brian. What's
you
up?
can take them everywhere.
Well, free to jump in if you want, Brian.
What's up, Brian the Observer? Don't trust a hoe.
Yeah, don't trust a hoe.
Hey, man, I completely agree. Funny thing is,
what they say. I was reading something about some kind of, it's on E-Man67. He's definitely MGTOW. Basically, this guy, his Russian girlfriend, and apparently she attacked him and hit him with the lamp or something. I can't remember specifically, but I was reading something about it, and apparently he's for some reason he's really blue-pilled and he's nothing more than a cuck. Apparently, he's really upset by the fact that it's so heartbreaking that he won't spend time with her. And I'm like, dude, this woman just attacked you, and you're upset that you don't get to spend time with her or something. I'm like, give me a fucking break.
Dude, does that guy like have a thrill-seeking, or is he like an abused spouse that has thrill-seeking tendencies because of the abuse he endured?
I don't know.
It's kind of coming across as Stockholm.
Who knows, but it's possible. See if I can find emails.
Yeah, one of the freaking screwed up things. After I got out of jail, I got onto Facebook like 2 hours later. 10 people followed me in the last hour when I checked my notifications. All 10 of them had the same last name of my accuser. And I'm like, you seriously sick and twisted MF. You're seriously gonna try frickin' stalking me because I am out? Wow. So I blocked all 10 of them and I reported all 10 of them. I'm like, yeah, Facebook, these people are, or this is the same person of all 10 of these accounts. All 10 accounts are still up after 2 years.
Oh yeah, apparently. Okay, so this woman, and not only that, the woman was only 5'3", and the boyfriend's 6'4".
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll forget what the name of the guy was. Where there's domestic abuse, it's fine when women do it.
Oh, shit.
I guess the guy's name is David Fergus. Whoever it was.
Who's that?
Maybe it's not David Fergus. I don't know. I forget what the guy's name is. But yeah, like I mentioned, this woman just attacks him with a lamp, almost nearly kills him. In fact, he was bleeding for a good part. And yet, I don't know. Don't know why these simps are just so, I don't know, so delusional at times. Brian said he can't join, which sucks, but I understand, Brian. It's cool. No worries.
Yeah, no worries, man.
Oh, Brian said something interesting. Heard about a dude that was upset because his wife slept with other dudes and she wouldn't sleep with him instead of leaving her. He wallowed in his pity. It would have been time for her to kick her ass out.
Yep. I mean, yeah, check out that Bounding into Comics article from earlier today. The whole people losing their minds over Ben Solo dying. I mean, there was this subreddit user that literally describes her friend having a total breakdown, and the whole shrine thing. It's like, oh my god, you need a reality check.
Yep, and I just posted the link to that video I was talking about in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's unbelievable how some fangirls can really wallow in their delusion in building a shrine, especially of a fictional character that's that's complicated as fuck. And how long would he even live for? But yeah, Then apparently we got this list that someone was fired by Lucasfilm, and there was apparently a upcoming list of what they're going to do. Like there's apparently Ryan Johnson still hinging on that trilogy. Like he's, I guess, apparently still going to get it, or that's what supposedly is going on. But you think
apparently
what's up?
Apparently it depends on how long or how successful
Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker is.
But it doesn't seem like it's going to make anywhere past The Last Jedi, I don't think.
Yeah, it's going to make $1 billion, but I don't think it's going to make profit.
Yeah. And let's see how much. I think the Force Awakens made around what, $2 billion worldwide. I think it was.
I think so. Yeah, and Last Jedi made like 1.3.
So they're just gonna they might be a little under from when they purchased it. They purchased it for like what, 4.4 billion, maybe 4.5. I can't remember.
4.5, and then the 3 treatments were. Well, I think the 3 treatments were the 0.5 billion.
If Disney wasn't going to honor his treatments, they should have said, no, we're not going to do your treatments. Fucking asshole.
Are you kidding? It was, or Disney wanted everything Star Wars related, and they got it.
Yep, they just didn't use it. or didn't respect Lucas at all.
Not at all, indeed. I mean, if I could go back in time, I would literally go to 2011 and I would tell George Lucas, there's a chance that you are going to think about selling to Disney.
Do not.
And I am here to literally beg you not to do it. Because you will feel betrayed. You will be extremely regretful of it, and they will mistreat your creation to the point where you will literally say that Disney, or you will literally refer to Disney indirectly as white slavers.
Yep.
I mean, they're also, do not let Kathleen Kennedy take over for Lucasfilm.
You should.
If anything, get to Dave Filoni.
Dave Filoni, or hell, if you wanted a veteran, you should have gotten Spielberg. Anyone would have been better than Kathleen Kennedy. She should have been stuck, serving coffee to the rest of the people at Lucasfilm. She could have been hired as a secretary. Yeah, just serve some coffee. That's what you're good for, bitch. And make sure it's actually strong and there's plenty of creamer and sugar and honey.
Yeah. Sorry, a friend of mine sent me some texts and whatnot. We're discussing, or she's called Edit Sullivan. She does, she's on Instagram and whatnot. She's a great person. I mean, she's actually a Raylo, but not an insane Raylo. She's like, yeah, there's sexual tension and whatnot there, but she's not one, or she actually insults a lot of other Raylos, Mm-hmm. She's like, those people are absolutely freaking nuts. And I'm like, yeah, they are. But me, I think that there was a definite potential for a relationship there. And
yeah,
to be honest, when you actually look at what they showed, there is a potential of a relationship.
Yes, there's potential.
But yes, I will acknowledge, and I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for it. I will acknowledge that there was potential for the Raylo relationship. Does it mean that it is a good relationship?
Probably not.
No. Sounds like yeah. Yeah, a lot of people are pissed off that they changed the name of Korriban to Moribond.
What's the name of this Instagrammer again?
The Sith what?
What's the name of the Instagrammer you told me about?
Her name is Edit Sullivan, but she goes by Edit Sullivan Toy Photography.
Ed Sullivan what?
Edit, EDIT, Sullivan Toy Photography, all one word.
Okay.
I mean, she does, she has a lot of NECA toys, like Terminator. She does all sorts of little funny things here and there. I mean, she's a great person. I like her. I mean, she's a great person to talk to. She's a hardcore Star Wars fan before Disney got a hold of it. So, yeah, and she doesn't like Disney at all. She absolutely hates identity politics. She's Phantom Menace. She just doesn't know that she just doesn't know. Or she also watches Geeks and Gamers and other people too. I mean, she's basically is a member of the Phantom Menace, but she is a. Huh?
Is it OG Star Wars?
No, it's not. Her name's Edit, not Alora.
Alora.
Look at or go to my Instagram, Orange Hat Reviews, all one word.
Mm-hmm.
And see if you can look at my followers list. She's in there.
Your Instagram, okay. I see the YouTube. I see your YouTube channel and your Twitter. Don't see your Instagram. Maybe I have to type that in.
Yeah. Orange Hat Reviews, all one word. No uppercases.
Orange.
Is it there?
For some reason I'm not finding it.
All right, try spacing out the words Orange Hat Reviews.
Oh, damn it. I have to put the E after. Okay. No, I had it right. What the hell? Why did it? Orange Hat Reviews. That should have come up with it. What the hell's going on? Orange Hat. I'm not seeing it. That's very odd.
All right. Do you know Drunk 3PO's Instagram?
It's me. Maybe if I go to your Twitter, maybe you have it linked in there.
I do not.
Oh, you don't?
But I can link it. Hold on. I can actually. Let me go to my bookmarks on here. Bookmarks. Instagram.
You can go ahead and put the link. I gotta go. I'll be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yep. So, how is everybody doing in the chat? Anybody still around? I know that there are people around. Let's see here. Looking at some Instagram stuff. All right, I put it in the private chat.
Okay, I see it. Okay, and that's your Instagram.
All right. Now, just go to my followers, and you should find edits Sullivan Toy Photography. I'm jumping onto Instagram right now myself. And, of course, it's going
The
to
thing
make
is,
me
I don't
have
have
to do that.
Instagram.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Huh. All the cool kids have it.
Yeah, well, I see a one photograph that says "Leave her alone." Who's that lady?
Lee, what?
I was looking down your photos. There's one that says "Nice looking lady." It says "Leave her alone" on it.
Oh, that was Anita. That was Sweet Anita, the YouTuber and Twitch streamer with Tourette's.
Ah,
Basically, cancel culture went after her after one of her because she had a tick that was very, shall we say, anti-Semitic. One of her ticks basically caused her to say, "Kill the Jews." And it's like, oh shit. And she actually ended her stream because of that. But nope, cancel culture went after her. All right, I know for a fact that. Let's see here. Edit Sullivan.
it's Edit Sullivan. You said.
Yeah, I'm about to type it in to see what EDIT. Edits. Oh, Edit Sully. SULLI Toy Photography. Is, well, you're going to have to get an Instagram if you really want to follow her, but she's a good person. All one word. EDIT, EDIT, SULLI, and then Toy Photography, all one word.
Okay, well, still didn't really come up with that. There's apparently some photography of it. It's Suli.
What in the shit? Okay, apparently porn stars have Instagram.
Yeah, I noticed a few. What's her name? Madison Ivy would be one of them. I think so. Oh yeah, Sasha Grey, though she's I guess considered X now.
I wonder if Mia Khalifa has, or I know Mia Khalifa has a Twitter and whatnot. Everybody says she's complete, or she can't act and she's completely over it. It's like, yeah, dude, but she still has a great fucking body.
Edit Sullivan. Unable to find anything on this person.
That's because it's not her real name.
Is it short for Edith, maybe?
Well, if you're checking on Instagram, it's the only one she has is Edit Sully Toy Photography. All one word. Holy crap, Mia Khalifa is indeed on Instagram.
Yep, I'm not surprised on that.
No, I'm just curious to see if she's on Twitter. I mean, because Twitter actually, you can find porn on Twitter, for crying out loud.
Well, let me I did find her Instagram. So what am I thinking?
Oh.
I did find her.
Yep, I'm gonna look up, see if Mia is on. Holy crap, Mia Khalifa is on Twitter. Does she give up the goods?
I'm sure she teases them.
Oh yeah, Anna Braga does. Anna Braga, who is a Playboy bunny, actually follows me on Twitter, and we've actually had dialogue here and there and whatnot.
Who the hell is Anna Braga? You said a porn star, but I don't know who that is.
She's not a porn star. She's a Playboy bunny.
Or Playboy bunny. Is it one N or two N's?
One N. She's on Twitter.
Okay. Huh, she was born in December. That's cool.
Holy crap.
Holy crap, what?
I mean, yeah, Mia Khalifa is pretty freaking hot. I am out of sheer curiosity. You gotta be kidding. She actually does. Or Miana Wolf actually does have a Twitter account. These people are nuts. Sharika Soul. I don't know your name, but holy crap, that is cool. I mean, yeah, I know it's fake, but damn, that is cool.
What's cool?
I'm about to retweet it, so just look for my latest retweet. Well, it seems like I'm being summoned by Rosetta. Jesus.
Yeah, on Twitter, you mean?
Yeah, she's asking me to come onto her live stream.
Yeah.
She does that a lot, but then again, it's like, I don't feel like being roasted tonight.
Yeah. I don't think anyone is justice.
Every time I go on that woman's live stream, it's like, let's roast Orange Hat.
Do you ever have the urge to say no more roasting? Just like you.
Oh, I've called her out on a couple times, like, okay, you guys can tone it down a bit and this and that. So, yeah, my channel might. It's like, you know what? I mean, yes, to be honest, there have been times that I've actually left her stream because there's only so much a person can take sometimes. Yeah, but she is a good person and she means well, and I've told her sometimes you do got to tone it down, you know? And she understood.
Yep. You definitely don't want to tone it down on the trolls for sure. Even though at times you don't want to.
Yeah, keep that shit on, or keep that momentum up on the trolls, but when it comes to people who are your friends and whatnot, I mean, yeah, I don't mind getting trolled and teased and whatnot. It's just sometimes I'm really not in the mood, especially coming close to January 19th. That's going to be a time that I'm really gonna probably not be on any social media at all. That was when I was released from jail, but it was still hard for me, you know?
You said January 19th?
Yeah.
Yep. I can understand the feeling.
I mean, it's like, yeah, And April 13th is another day that will basically, it's going to be a day that it's like anybody who really sees themselves as my friend, check on me that day. Like just call or text or message me or something or whatever. Just make sure that somebody contacts me, because that day, I swear to God, I'm going to be in my room. I'm not going to want to be bothered. If the freaking police show up at any time, I'm going to be freaking the hell out. Because a year after my arrest, I was staying at one of my cousin's houses. And the police literally, April 13th, 2018, knock on her door that morning. And I'm like, what the... I freaked the hell out. I'm like, what are you guys doing here? I didn't do anything. What is going on? And they're like, we're not here for you. I'm like, okay, good. They're like, do we need to be? I'm like, no, it's just this is the year anniversary of when I got arrested for something I didn't do. So, yeah. You could understand why I'm a little bit traumatized.
Yeah. Exactly. I actually put I posted a link to a link to YouTube on the chat. Johnny McTow, avoid marriage. Gets a very good point. He always starts us with, "I have the penis," because that's what we have. We have.
Yep. Boys have penises. Girls have vaginas.
Thanks for the tip. Such a classic right there.
Yep. Okay, I was about to say. Yeah, another great social media site is MeWe. I mean, it's basically sort of like Facebook, but without the adult restriction stuff.
Oh, so you can post naked pictures. That's good to know.
Yeah, exactly. You can post all sorts of crap. I mean, it's like, hey, Raylo freaks, go on to MeWe and create your own goddamn group. There you go.
Yeah. So
yeah. Things in Star Wars I want to get inside of: Millennium Falcon, Jedi Starfighter, AT-ST, and Rey. Nice. This is I'm actually on MeWe right now, just checking out some of the stuff from the group that I like, or that I'm in, which is sci-fi, romance, and erotica stuff.
Yeah.
And nothing new except for that one thing that I just read out loud. It's like, seriously. That's just some great shit that they have. I mean, it's just funny stuff. I mean, there's a lot of people that actually want to ship Ahsoka Tano and Darth Maul. It's like, are we talking Rebels Darth Maul, or Rebels Ahsoka, or Clone Wars Ahsoka? They're like, Clone Wars Ahsoka. I'm like, are you a freaking pedophile? That shit, or that girl is like 16 years old or 15 years old. She was 13 when she was introduced into the... She was 15 when she left.
I haven't really watched much of the Clone Wars or anything like that.
Oh, dude, you definitely need to watch Clone Wars. Clone Wars was pre-Disney, and it was awesome.
Yeah, I probably should. Should have, but then I look back. I remember the son of Mortis, definitely died, and I guess JJ was going to try to say that somehow the son of Mortis survived. I was wondering how that.
Yeah, that was going to be a major retcon. I mean, the son of Mortis was actually going to be in the lost episodes where Revan was actually talking to him. So Revan was going to be officially made canon before Disney took over, but it was an abandoned concept. I mean, I'm willing to bet the ones of Mortis are actually still alive. It's just that they're extremely weak and whatnot. I mean, because when all three of them died, it's like light side, dark side, and then the balance of the Force. So if you're killing 3 god tier Force users, it's I'm sorry, that just doesn't work.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out if Palpatine was JJ's idea or Iger's or Kennedy's.
Nope. It was Kennedy's, apparently.
Yeah.
According to all the other people who did videos on it. I'm not even going to go there. I just want to forget about all of it.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing I liked...
Go ahead.
The only thing I liked from Rise of Skywalker was Palpatine using the Force Storm, where he actually, when he was reinvigorated, and where he had his Sith eyes and all of it, he just puts his hands up and starts blasting. And it's like, okay, that is actual stuff that they did in EU. A Force Storm is something that they did. So, yeah, I can dig that.
But how'd you think Ian McDermott did? I'm sure you didn't mind his performance, right?
Oh, no, his performance was very well done. I mean, the dude is a very talented actor. It's just that there was some stuff that... I'm just surprised that he actually agreed to do it. I mean, he actually talked to George Lucas. Am I dead? Or is Palpatine dead? And George Lucas literally talked to him, and he's like, yes, Pal, you died on the Death Star. You were completely atomized. There's no way that you could have been brought back to life.
Yeah. I've heard a rumor that the novel is going to somehow he returns via a wormhole, but maybe it almost killed him or something like that. That I can maybe see as a possibility.
I am looking forward to the novel because I want to see, or I would love to hear the reasoning behind it. I mean, apparently in the EU canon, he could create wormholes and this and that, and it's like, yeah, well, I still don't, or I still think he was a bitch. I mean, as much as I like Palpatine, I still think that Emperor Valkorion is the more powerful.
Yep. But if anything, they should have, JJ should have argued and brought in Plagueis instead.
Yeah, I mean, Plagueis would have been the way to go because Plagueis actually did hold the secret to immortality. To cheat death is a power only one has achieved. And Plagueis had achieved it. That was the original purpose for Jar Jar Binks. He was going to be Plagueis reincarnated. A lot of people don't know that, but Ahmed Best actually confirmed it years ago on Twitter.
Wow.
He's like, yeah, excuse me. He actually he's like, yeah, it's good to know, or it's good to hear what your original, or what your character's original purpose was, but tracking and whatnot and the character, Lucas decided to make Jar Jar comical and kid friendly, you know?
Yep.
And down the line, yes, it works. I mean, I like Jar Jar Binks. I understand his character. I understand the reason behind his character, and I understand his original purpose. So that is why when people all hate on Jar Jar, it's like, yeah, shush. You guys just don't understand his character and the reasons behind it. Now, if you don't like him, that's fine. But stop constantly hating on the guy. The dude did nothing to you. He saved 2 or 3 planets, and everybody hates him. Palpatine blows up planets, and everybody loves him.
Yeah. By the way, who's the team? If you watch sports and if you watch football, who's your team, or do you really have a team?
I used to have a team. I mean, my favorite team is and always will be the Oakland Raiders because I was born the same year that Bo Jackson won the Heisman Trophy, and he is my favorite player. I mean, I absolutely loved the Raiders growing up, and I still like the Raiders. I mean, I don't watch TV, so I don't watch football, and I stopped caring about the NFL because it's more of people just instead of caring about and all the controversy going on in it. It's like, I don't care about that crap. I mean, the one season
dollars.
Yeah, the one season that had the lowest ratings and whatnot was the one season that
you're
the
kind of
Eagles
breaking up.
finally won.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right.
Am I back?
Yeah, you were kind of breaking up here and there.
Sorry about that.
Are you using your phone?
No, I'm actually on my Kindle.
Kindle. What's the tablet or laptop or?
It's a tablet. It's a Kindle Fire.
Kindle. Yep, the Kindle, huh? I'm just using an old laptop with Windows 7 on it.
Shit, man. You should upgrade that shit to see.
I mean, I do have
10.
Windows. I do have a Windows 10 computer, but it just seems like to me Windows 7 always is technically better than Windows 10.
Windows 7 is indeed very awesome and whatnot. Don't get me wrong. I actually finally got used to Windows 10 after I switched over to it. You've time to get used to it, basically.
Okay, so the good news is Jason Garrett's not going to be part of the organization. Good. Fuck Jason Garrett. Sorry, I just had to say that.
Jason Garrett is who?
He was the coach of the Cowboys.
Oh.
Yeah, finally about time that we get rid of, because we were 8-8 again. Very mediocre, and thank God we're getting rid of his ass.
Yeah. Buffalo Bills, I heard, are doing pretty well.
Yeah, they made the playoffs. I know that. Whatchamacallit? At Don's a fan of them. I think he's a Bills fan and a Seattle fan, I believe.
How did the Raiders do this season?
I think they definitely won more games as opposed to the 2018 season, because they traded a few of their really good players, like Khalil Mack went to the Bills. We actually traded for Amari Cooper, actually. Let's see. I think they were 7-9. I know that John Gruden came back in 2018. So, Oakland Raiders 7-9. Yep.
So that's 7 wins, 9 losses.
Yep. And before then, I think they were 2-14. And they got Antonio Brown, but he really screwed them up. And I think if Antonio Brown would have lasted, they might have done a little better. But he was a selfish asshole.
I mean, nowadays, I watched the Bo Jackson documentary, and there's a basic consensus is if people nowadays played as good as Bo Jackson did today as he did back then, chances are they would test positive for performance enhancers. I mean, he was the first major multi-sport person. I mean, before even Deion Sanders, Bo Jackson was baseball to football to hockey and otherwise. He played in the NFL. It was a hobby. He was in the NFL as a hobby, man.
Well, what did he really like to do?
Baseball. But he was good at all sports, really. That's why they called him the all-sports star.
Yep.
I mean, Heisman Trophy of 85, that's awesome shit.
Yeah. Heisman Trophy and had a productive career, I imagine, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he wasn't exactly the best of the best, but he was a very, very good player. I mean, true, Raiders used Marcus Allen a little bit more than Bo Jackson, but it's like, man, in Tecmo Super Bowl, I used Bo Jackson like it was nobody's business.
Yeah.
Anyway, What time is it? It's almost 11 o'clock. How long do you stream for?
It's been a little over an hour, so it's actually no, I'm wrong.
2 hours.
19 minutes.
Yeah. How long do you usually stream for?
So I guess it's somewhere between an hour and 2 hours, but I streamed 3 hours yesterday, so
Nice.
Yeah, that's when I had Mr. Pete on there.
Nice. Amy One Kenobi. My gosh, that woman is a trooper, man. She did a 48-hour stream.
Who?
Can you believe that?
Rosetta?
No, Amy One Kenobi.
Amy One Kenobi.
She's new blood in the Phantom Menace.
So she did it for 48 hours straight.
Yeah, she did a 48-hour live stream. 2-day live stream.
My gosh.
I'm like, how the hell are you still functioning, woman?
Yeah.
You go 2 days, or you had to have taken a nap here and there. I mean, but god damn.
Yeah, you must
48 hours. That is
you must
nuts.
have taken a lot of Monsters or Red Bulls for that, or some 5-hour energies.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
I actually took a 5-hour energy drink. You want to know what happened? My skin changed color a little bit, and I fell asleep.
Wow, really?
It had completely the weirdest wrong or the reverse effect on me. So 5-hour energy. Drink it and you'll have energy. Yeah, my skin got blotchy red and I freaking passed out. So, yeah, you guys are full of shit.
So 5-hour energy is just nothing, pretty much.
Basically.
As
Tomorrow, I gotta review Jojo Rabbit.
Jojo Rabbit. What's going on?
Yeah. I gotta review it tomorrow.
What the hell is
Upon
Jojo?
request. It's a Taika Waititi movie.
Never heard of it.
It's basically the comedy of a kid that has the make-believe friend of Adolf Hitler. And I'm like, okay, well, all right, fine, I'll give it a look. Because the owner of the theater, she's like, Jojo Rabbit's on the 3rd, you want to see it? I'm like, sure, I'll check it out. Are you asking me to do a review? Because she enjoys my reviews and whatnot. And I'm like, all right, I'll enjoy it. And my friend, who's the manager of the theater, he's like, yeah, I saw Jojo Rabbit. Let me just tell you, man, that movie is nuts. I mean, it's funny, but it's like, I can't believe you went there. But that's Taika Waititi's style. I mean, the way that he balances seriousness and comedy is he does 1/2 comedy, 1/2 seriousness, or 1/2 comedy and 1/2 dark comedy. I mean, as much as when it comes to Taika Waititi, I will not deny that dude is talented when it comes to directing and whatnot. But when it comes to public relations, he is a freaking nightmare. You don't know what you want until we give it to you. It's like, dude, you sound like a rapist. I mean, yeah, I also go there. I go there with very dark humor. And a lot of people are like, dude, didn't you get accused of that stuff? It's like, just because I got accused of it does not mean I'm going to change the way that I tell my jokes. I mean, yes, I can tell some very dirty jokes, and I still do. Even though I got accused, I had always joked like that, even long before I was accused. I'm not going to change the kind of humor I tell because of a mishap of stupidity on another person's part.
Yeah.
Mary Mayhem friended me on Facebook, so did Proper Justin.
Yeah, I'm guessing you accepted their friend requests.
Well, I sent Mary the friend request. She accepted, and he sent me one. and I'm friends with Rosetta on Facebook. I mean, now I'm getting freaking friend people you may know, Nerdrotic, Jeremy, Gilkey, and it's like Will Gentry. And I'm like, Jesus, I thought these people said they weren't on Facebook. Ivan Ortega. I'm like, I know that I am a patron for Ivan and Odin. But yeah, it's like, holy crap. I didn't know that all these guys were on Facebook. Holy crap.
Yeah.
You on Facebook?
Are you saying they requested to be your friend, or you just found out they're on Facebook?
I found out that they're on Facebook. They came up on the people you may know section.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
I'm like, wait, man, what? I thought all these people basically said they weren't on Facebook. What the shit? But yeah, I had the people you may know with Justin, or with proper Jeremy, but now he goes by his own channel name, Justin, or Proper Justin, or Justin Proper.
Yeah, Justin Proper.
I saw him as people you may know, and I'm like, I'm not going to send friend requests to people. I mean, but then I get it from him, and I'm like, okay, I'll accept. Yeah, sure, why not?
I doubt that I will get any friend requests from them unless I sent them, but I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with that.
Well, send me a friend request. My name's Daniel C. Maloney II. I have no problem letting people know my my full name. I mean, my profile picture is the same as it's my Instagram and Twitter and YouTube.
Okay, I'm logging into my Facebook. If Mozilla Firefox would hurry up and get going.
You use Mozilla. That is hilarious.
Well, it's certainly a hell of a lot better than Microsoft Edge.
Google Chrome, dude. Google Chrome.
I mean, I've used Google Chrome before, but I don't know. I've heard some not so great things about that.
Chrome is awesome.
Chrome, huh? Chrome is...
Chrome
I got another friend. Liz was... Oh, I didn't even get a chance to confirm some friend requests. Stephen Smith, I'll definitely accept.
How often are you in there on Facebook?
Here and there.
Same here. Well, I usually am on Facebook just to connect with... That's where I connect with family and friends for the most part. Twitter is where I usually do all my YouTube and stuff and politics and stuff. And that's basically it. I mean, I barely do politics when it comes to
Daniel C. What was it?
Facebook. Daniel C. Maloney II.
I think, I see it. Apparently it came up with that. Orange, yeah, I see ya.
Yep, there you go. And I'll check it out on my phone that way.
Okay, sent you a friend request.
Awesome. Yep, there you are. And confirmed. Nice name.
You mean my last name?
Yeah. Do you have the gene?
Maybe. I know my brother. Let's see. I know apparently I'm not the one that's named William. Apparently there's 3 other people named William. My father's name is William. My brother's name is William. My nephew's name is William. He's William III.
Nice. So worried about being pretty. Let's be pretty kind, pretty funny, pretty smart, pretty sure. Nice.
Apparently I actually have more subs than Facebook friends. But I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I have more subs than Facebook friends too, man. Thing is, like I said, Facebook is I used to have over 1,000 friends, and I did a major purge. I mean, I think I'm like down to like 100 and some odd friends now. I mean, let me check. How many friends are followed by 230 people? Oh, I have 469 friends. If only I had that many subscribers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Mega Jetty has also friended me on Facebook.
Yep. I friended him some time ago.
Yeah, I'm like, why is that name familiar? Why is that name familiar? But then I'm like, all right, that's Jetty. I mean, it was pretty cool when I noticed that Jesse Milestone was following me on Twitter. That was nuts. It's like, or because I stayed consistent on her tweets and stuff, and I've always been kind to her because you know what? She's an awesome person. I like her rants. I like her style.
Who?
And she just comes across as a very likable person.
Who are you talking about?
Jesse Milestone.
Jesse Milestone. Yeah.
Yeah. And then she
Mary's always try to talk to her or hit on her, but I don't think Jesse replies back on that or something. So
sometimes she does. I mean, they playfully flirt, but everybody knows that Jeff from World Class Bullshitters and Jesse are a thing.
Really? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, they're a couple.
That's interesting.
It was pretty interesting. I was watching her live stream with Jeff, and then they started making out, and then it's like, yeah, we're gonna have to cut the live stream short. They actually cut the live stream just so they could, do
it.
God damn, man, that's awesome. You guys go. It's like, holy shit, that was awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jessie is pretty cool, and
Too bad she's an Eagles fan.
Yeah, she always gets misgendered at the airport, and I'm like, the craziest thing is, I look at you, I only see a freaking female. I don't see masculine qualities in you. Yes, you have a little bit of masculinity in your voice, but that's only a little bit. And yeah, you kind of also have a tomboyish attitude and whatnot, but your features are feminine. You have feminine features.
Yep.
And she was always appreciative of that. And then I see Jesse Milestone's following, and I'm like, wait, what? So I'm like checking just to see if it's actually her and not a parody account, because freaking Jeremy Prime Rib followed me, and I'm like, wait, Jeremy's following, and then I'm like, oh, Prime Rib, you jackass. So I get followed, or I'm followed by like not Jeremy Griggs, but a parody account. So, yep, I got to do a movie review for tomorrow. So, that's going to be fun. Hopefully, afternoon, or I'm going to catch the 4 o'clock and upload afterward.
So you're saying the show timed at 4?
Say what?
You said the time 4?
Yeah, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
You're actually jumping in and out this time.
I don't know why. Maybe I should log out on Facebook.
Oh, yeah, you're probably overtaxing your stuff.
Yeah, I have 4 tabs on there. You should have at least a minimum of 3, I think. Shit. Okay. I guess I'll go ahead and accept this lady's request. Okay, I guess I'll confirm it. What the hell?
Yeah, if you confirm a friend request and they end up contacting you like immediately, completely block them because chances are they're a bot that's going to try to do a whole blackmail scenario on you.
Or or someone. I noticed that apparently, I don't know why my nephew accepts these friend requests. There's these good looking. There's apparently it's good looking ladies, but I noticed all the pictures are not all the same, and they'll say something about my nude photos here, blah blah blah, which is a bunch of bullshit.
Oh yeah, I mean I don't fall for any of that bot track, and I usually call my friends up. It's like, hey, dude, your account got hacked.
Okay. Have it down to 3 tabs mostly. Yeah, it's 2 hours and 35 minutes. That was going to be the original Rise of Skywalker running time. Before
Actually, the original Rise of Skywalker was supposed to be 3 hours and 2 minutes.
Well, yeah, I don't know if it was before he made any edits to it. I wonder if that was going to be his preferred version for sure. And he had to probably get it under 3 hours, and then the last cut he approved of was going to be the 2 hour and 37-minute cut technically, but trimmed it down even further.
Oh wow! This is breaking news from 2 hours ago. U.S. just killed top Iranian military leader, bigger than Bin Laden.
Really?
Nice.
Who's the
al-Baghdadi? Oh, we got al-Baghdadi.
Al-Baghdadi, huh?
Yeah, we actually took. Holy crap! Are we at war with Iran now?
So we declared war with Iran?
No, we didn't declare it. They basically declared it when they attacked us, or they attacked a U.S. military base. I'm reading through it now. Military forces repeatedly killed 2 top Iranian military commanders involved in terrorism on Thursday night in Iraq in an airstrike in what analysts said was a significantly bigger deal than the killing of al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden and ISIS leader al-Bakr al-Baghdadi. Oh, it wasn't that guy that we got. Yeah, I was about to say we had to have gotten Baghdadi before. But Iranian Major General Qasem Soleimani, head of the Quds Force, the Iraq militia commander Abu Mahdi al-Muhandis. That's a long one. Were 2 Iranian military leaders who were killed. All right. So we took out 2 big shots in Iran. Nice. Hashem later noted
they were pieces of shit. Good riddance. Good riddance.
Yep. Hey, that's what happens when you screw with the U.S. You wake the sleeping giant. Jamila Jamil dumps Candace Owens from podcast for saying only women can give birth. Awesome.
What was going on? What was the last thing you said?
Jamila Jamil dumps Candace Owens from podcast for saying only women can give birth on Monday. So she was dropped before it happened, and that would have been good if she said it only, or she said it on the actual thing. Revoked her invitation to host Owens over a tweet of conservative posted stating that only women can give birth. Such a biologically true statement from Owens makes her transgender staffers feel unsafe. Oh, suck it up, Buttercup. Only women can give birth. Sorry, but that's biologically true. Jeez.
Oh, so definitely transgenders cannot give birth, huh?
Well, unless you're a transgender woman, or unless you're a woman who's transgendering into a man, but that still means you are a woman biologically. Yes, you can give birth. I mean, just because you think you're a man doesn't mean you're actually a man. I'm sorry, that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I will respect the transgender. I will use their pronouns and whatnot, but it does not change the fact that it does not change your biological truth. The biological truth of yourself is you're still what you were born as.
Yeah. It's always a confusing thing with those people, those type of species.
Yeah, when it's finally 2020, but you realize that both 1820 and 1920, and actually 1720 also, had massive plague outbreaks. Holy crap. You know what? They're actually right.
So 1720, 1820, and 1920, we had some outbreaks, huh? Of a plague.
Plague outbreaks, yeah. It's like, holy shit.
Oh, fuck me raw.
Where do you live?
Oh, in Texas.
Oh, okay, so you should be good. At least you're not living in shit-infested California.
No. A cousin of mine actually lives somewhere in California. In fact, he's an independent film producer.
Oh, yeah? Nice.
Yeah. The last major, there was actually his last major film that he produced was actually a film called Sorry to Bother You. So.
Oh, nice.
And he's produced a couple other films. One's actually a comedy, and one's actually a drama. I guess they're due out this year at some point. Oh, and by the way, his younger brother, I just recently found out, was revealed to be gay. Apparently, I didn't even know about that. I was kind of shocked by that.
Yeah. Oh. My uncle asked, "How did 2019 treat you?" Without bias. That's the best way that you could be treated or by anything that's not sentient, because time is not sentient. If you're dating my daughter and you're stupid enough to do this, I'm going to, yeah. Basically, it shows a woman being beaten or with a lot of bruises and blood. Put it this way, if I have a daughter and I find that she is bruised after visiting a guy or after being with a guy, that guy better have a restraining order on me like within a day or less, because if he doesn't, he is going to wish he had been born in a different time era, because hell nor heaven will want him ever again, or will ever want him. The shirt transforms to no, dude, not gonna read that out on a live stream. The hell is wrong with people?
What was it about? You said something about the daughter getting beat up or something.
Basically, if I have a kid and my daughter gets beat up by her boyfriend, let's just say that they're going to need a restraining order against me, and it's not going to matter, because that person will either be dragged by their hair to the police station, and if they're bald, I will drag them by their nose to the police station with hooks. When it comes to family, I am sadistically violent when it comes to protecting them.
I understand that.
I mean, when it comes to kids, I will protect children. I will do all sorts of stuff. It's like, people don't realize when it comes to kids, I am extremely parental. I will treat them as if I am their parent, and I will protect them, and but I also won't coddle them too much. Huh. That's an interesting little thing. Miniature pizzas. That's cute. What in the hell? Oh. Mac and cheese bombs. Nice. Oh, so that's how they do it. Mustard, cheddar cheese, ham, Swiss cheese, chicken.
Yeah.
The hell?
Switch to something positive. How would you say that? How's your new year been so far for you? Been a good start for you?
My year? Absolutely. Been flipping awesome. I got 2 movie trilogies, and I'm almost done watching the first one. I got the Dark Knight trilogy and the Matrix trilogy on my digital library, so it's like, awesome. I like it.
Yep, I have the Matrix trilogy on Blu-ray. I'll just say this: I never really had a problem with the sequels. I mean, yeah, they were a step down, but I think they were decent entertainment.
Oh yeah, I mean,
to be honest, I know I'm probably the only one that thinks this, but I thought Revolutions was a little better than Reloaded because it seemed like Reloaded.
hey, I thought it was.
What's up?
I thought it was a step better too. I mean, the thing is, if you take a look at the Revolutions Oracle, the woman who is not the same Oracle as the other one, or the same actress, that or Revolutions Oracle looks a lot like my landlady.
Really?
Yeah, dead serious. She looks a lot like my landlady.
Yeah. So yeah,
oh my gosh,
Oracle.
they got robots
She can predict the future. That's cool.
Oh, she predicts the future. She knows everything, basically. Avril Lavigne, you are an idiot.
What kind of SJW bullshit is he doing out now?
Creativity. When she did the whole Skater Boy thing, the song Skater Boy, where she put SK8ER and then BOI. I wasn't sure if people would get the 8 thing, but they did. It goes to show that when you take big creative risk, it can really pay off. It's like, are you stupid? People, it's like common sense stuff. I also like this one where it shows a bunch of people identifying as this or that. I'm a baby. It's a grown man in a baby outfit with a pacifier in his mouth. I'm a dog. It's a guy dressed in a dog outfit. I'm an alien. It's some sort of human guy looking like an alien. A black person saying I'm white. A white person saying I'm black. And Bruce Jenner saying I'm a woman. And then it shows that 3-year-old girl that is looking at the camera like, what the hell? And it says, y'all know we can see you, right? Awesome. When you see the pothole, but it's too late.
I'm just curious. A lot of people are not only doing the hashtag, J.J. Abrams, but they're doing the hashtag Snyder Cut for Justice League. Is the Snyder Cut really any better or far more different?
Oh, it's supposed to be polarizingly different.
Like it's not as rushed, I guess it was.
It's supposed to be almost a different story altogether. I mean, Darkseid is going to be in the Snyder Cut.
Oh man, Steppenwolf wasn't in the Snyder Cut?
Oh, Steppenwolf was in it, no doubt. But Darkseid was also in it.
So apparently the Snyder Cut will drop in 2020, according to Fatal J.
Oh, nice. I should check out my YouTube notifications right now.
Oh, Jeffrey Turner's here. Mega Jetty. Welcome.
What's up, Jetty?
Yo, pull up a chair or pull up a boner if you must and join in.
Yeah, man. Come on in.
Oh, whoop, that's not what I put the YouTube link. I forget what that was for. Damn it.
Rise of Skywalker was neither was George Lucas' Star Wars. People are actually saying, oh, the writer complains the Rise of Skywalker wasn't woke and neither was George Lucas' Star Wars. Well, too bad. Puckers live. What else? Movie Guy 2005. Was that person in the chat?
Yeah, hi, what's up?
Well, they subscribed to me. So thank you, Movie Guy.
Yeah, I think he was subbed to Rambo Ralph for Life. I don't know if you're familiar with that YouTuber.
Who?
Rambo Ralph for Life. I believe that's how Movie Guy 2005 subbed to me because I'm subbed to Matt, and I've sent Rambo Ralph for Life. I've sent him stuff before, so send him gifts. So yeah.
I mean, you want to know what I find just weird? Most of the people who want to see the new Abrams cut or the release the JJ cut thing, didn't you all hate The Rise of Skywalker? And didn't you all basically say Disney Star Wars isn't good? I mean, let's just be honest here, folks. Your integrity is slipping. I mean, as much as yes, I am curious to see what J.J. Abrams' cut would be. Don't get me wrong. Very curious.
Space Cowboy 17, what up? Feel free to join in the chat if you. I know that you were going to see the film on Christmas. Feel free to give your thoughts and the whole JJ thing if you want. Oh, by the way, it looks like Jason Garrett's finally getting fired, too. Mr. Carrot Top, Mr. Robotic Asshole that he is.
Something tells me he's no Wayne or Bobby Knight, though.
What about Bobby Knight?
He was that coach that was like beating on his own players in basketball.
Gotcha.
Years ago.
Yes. All right, Space Cowboy's here. Welcome, Space Cowboy 17. What up, man?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Oh, nothing much. We're just talking about some random stuff. But earlier, I was talking about the whole JJ, his cut, and being meddled by the studio. I don't know if you knew about that.
Yeah, I did see the report. I actually did see the film. What was it, last week? So I know. I did not. I heard the reports of the original cut. I do they haven't leaked it from what I heard. I don't know too much, but I've heard about them.
What'd you think of the film overall, man?
I'm not gonna trash it because I'm a huge
Star Wars. Last Jedi. I don't know if that's how you felt about it.
Well, what's up?
I did like it better than The Last Jedi, that's for sure.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's not too hard of a bar to reach. But but in all seriousness, though, I think it's like one that I would classify as like a good popcorn film. Like if you're going just to watch it for entertainment value, you're gonna get entertained. That I will admit. But if you're looking at it but if you're watching it as like a fan of Star Wars and you're big deep into the lore, you're not gonna like it.
Exactly.
So I'm not gonna trash the film because I went just wanting to enjoy the film. I wasn't gonna critique it, but then I kind of started after I enjoyed my time, but then after I kind of thought about it, I kind of started having second guesses and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Obviously.
Yeah. So what happened with me? I first saw it, and I was like, okay, that's weird. All right. I was like, okay, it was all right. 6 out of 10, I'd say. I'm not saying it's horrible, but at the same time, it wasn't great. But then then I slept on it, and I was like, some of that stuff didn't make any sense. What happened? You know what I mean?
All right.
I don't know how you guys feel about it, but for me, like I don't like. Here's the thing. I don't like nitpick. Well, I don't mind nitpicking, but it's kind of like it's an intuitive thing where it's like if I'm going to a movie to enjoy it, I'm not gonna like just pick out every single thing. But if you're asking me to nitpick, I can nitpick if you want me to. But so like as a Star Wars fan, there were things that didn't make sense. Like I'm assuming spoilers are allowed. Is that correct or no?
Yes.
Okay. The hyperlane skip, the hyperspace skipping thing. I'm not saying like
Yeah.
that's a huge thing, but like last time I checked, I thought TIE fighters didn't have hyperdrives.
Exactly.
That's what threw me off. Like I was like, since when did like this was never explained?
This movie.
Yeah, it felt a little out of place looking back on it now.
It
Like, I don't-
doesn't. This movie as a whole didn't really make sense.
Yeah, like that's kind of how like because I went with a friend of mine and well she had already seen it and she told me she thought it was decent, but the thing is that like she didn't like the ending. And then like we were when we were like leaving the film, we were talking about it and we're like, yeah, some of the stuff didn't make sense like at all.
Yeah, like it's strangely enough, Rey is able to heal Kylo or Ben, and she doesn't die. But when, of course, Kylo or Ben heals Rey, he dies, unfortunately.
Well,
So like, go
remember
ahead.
he was bringing her back to life.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing.
To be fair,
To be fair, yeah. Well, this is the thing that bothered me about the film. It felt like it was like I was having an ADHD moment where it was like literally it was like boom, 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 boom. There was no time to rest and actually process what occurred. It was just like
Yeah,
we got to
it
get
went at
through
a
the
really
film.
fast pace, and it seemed like jumped from one scene to another. It was from what I understood, the way it was going to open was going to open a hell of a lot differently. Like I think in the 2 hour and 37 minute cut, it was going to be at least kind of spaced out, but it just seemed like it was like a rush going forward, and things seemed really convoluted, to be honest, looking back on it.
Yeah, and the thing that kind of I thought about, I'm like, yeah, which sucks is JJ had to inherit the mess that was The Last Jedi that kind of threw the entire trilogy out of whack. But the
Mhm.
problem was, and it's not JJ, it's not right. No, you know whose fault it is? It's Kathleen Kennedy and those that were overseeing this. The reason why
exactly.
the reason why I say that is because, like, as much as I'm not a super fan of the prequels, with the exception of 3,
Mhm.
they had a direction.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
They told
they
a
had a
story, at least.
plan.
they had a plan. Like,
Mhm.
okay, the basic plan is, hey, Palpatine is the main villain, and Anakin is who we, that like it's kind of like you knew that, but the thing was is
It's
like you have to
Anakin's
tell the
story.
yeah, it's Anakin's story of falling to the dark side and also Palpatine pulling the strings. Another thing that bothered me, like, because and my friend, she pointed this out, because like I didn't think about this until we like walked out. She was like, I just realized something. These three film like this film kind of invalidated Anakin's entire story.
It did,
It did,
Yeah.
like, and I thought about it, like,
because
yeah,
Anakin was supposed to bring balance to the Force.
Yes, he was the chosen
He
one.
didn't, because Palpatine lived.
mm-hmm. I mean, even in the extended universe, he technically still exists, but as clones. But at the same,
Mhm.
I mean that's in the comics and stuff like that. But the thing was like when they talked about that, it wasn't to the extent of how they did it in the films. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I haven't read them of recent, but I do recall like Palpatine was able to do that, but it didn't. The thing what made it different was like in those situations the Anakin sacrifice allowed for the rebels to kind of get an even edge kind of thing. In
Yeah.
this case, it was like literally everything he did didn't matter. The New Republic fell apart. The Jedi Order
Mhm.
wasn't restored. Um, what else? Basically everything he did didn't matter. It's not the fact of also bringing balance to the Force. The fact was like literally him killing the Emperor and help, in that situation and that specific moment didn't, it was like what the hell, you know. I don't have an issue if they kill off the older characters. That wasn't my issue. My issue was that, like I said, they had no direction, and I'm
Mhm.
not. And listen, people thought like when people talk about Rey, Finn, and everything, the problem was also they had too many main characters in that film, specifically the Rise of Skywalker. They had literally two. You know what I'm talking about? Like they had like how do I want to word this? Because like I understand that yes, the previous Star Wars films had a multitude of characters, but the thing was that with this film specifically, it was like, oh, we need to have at least like everyone have screen time and all this other stuff, and I'm like, and not only that, the thing that bothered me the most was the sacrifices that you can argue Chewbacca was trying to make when he got air quote killed. You know what I'm talking about? Like it was like, hey, he went to go make sure Rey was okay. He gets captured, and then there's a moment where it's like, oh, you can build upon that. Hey, Rey is powerful, but she needs to control it, aka character development. Guess what? He's finding like a scene later. I'm like, what the hell? And then 3PO, like there was an emotional moment where he's like, oh, I want to take a look, final look at my friends, and then like R2 reboots his memory. Like it's like that's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
But come on.
I guess they didn't want to kill the other main characters because they might have been, berated at and threatened because you killed Luke in such a shitty way. And
I mean, here's the thing. If I may, just 1 second. The whole thing with C-3PO saying, I'm just taking one final look, sir, at my friends. And it's like, at least show us what he's seeing, because he could be going through like memory data of looking at his friends, Luke, Leia, Lando, Han, because how was Poe treating C-3PO all the way up to that moment? Like shit.
That is true.
He was treating him like literal shit. It's like, shut up, 3PO. I don't care, 3PO. I don't want to know, 3PO. And you know what? We're going to break open this door's out. Excuse me. Does anybody care what I think? No, I don't, 3PO. Shut up.
It's really funny.
Looking back, it seemed like Poe and Rey didn't quite get along in the beginning, though they kind of maybe sort of warmed up to each other as well. So,
it was really funny. The thing that made me laugh was like I forgot who Poe was until halfway through the film. I was like, "Who is this dude? Like, what is he? The cut rate Han Solo or whatever the hell?"
Yeah.
Thing is, he was never, they made him a spice runner. Here's the thing: his original actual background, which was established by Disney, had him in the New Republic military.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
They changed him into a spice runner to make him more of a Han Solo-esque character. It's like, shut the F up. Literally, shut the fuck up. You guys are breaking your own freaking rules. You guys are being inconsistent. You're not following your own freaking canon.
Wow, I didn't know that he was going to be part of the military. That part I didn't know about. I just know that he was supposed to be.
Wasn't that established in the first film?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know we had the Resistance or the best pilot in the Resistance on board. It's like, yeah. The dude is the best pilot for a reason, because he was a freaking military dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I could go for yes. I mean, it's okay not to nitpick, but it's also okay to nitpick, especially if you are a major fan of the lore. I mean,
like me, yeah.
When I saw the pre-screening in my theater, in my hometown theater, when frickin' what's her name kisses what's his name, the whole Raylo thing, I'm like, oh come on! In the middle of the theater, and the person in front of me turns around and says, shh. I'm like, fuck off.
I facepalmed at that moment.
Oh,
I literally did. I was like,
and oh my gosh,
it was
man!
When that movie, for all of us.
When that movie started rolling credits after she says Rey Skywalker, I got up and I looked to my friend who was also there with me. I'm like, that fucking sucked.
Yeah, that's why the ending
sucked.
Like for me, the movie was on its way to like a 7, and then like I was like that ending bumped it down a point initially, and now that I look at it, it's probably a 5 or 4 out of 10 if I'm nitpicking, because
Out of my objective score based on the not the personal opinions and biases, but without bias, I gave that movie a 3 out of 5, and that's being fair. That's a 6 out of 10.
yeah, that's what I
When-
did. Yeah.
With bias, and this is something I never thought I would ever do to a Star Wars film. I gave it a 0 out of 10.
Really? Why was that? I'm
With
curious.
bias.
Was it just
Well,
because of all the
one-
plot holes?
All the plot holes. 2, the disrespect. 3, Raylo. 4, her taking the name Skywalker. And 5, it was just all disrespectful. It
You know
was
what the-
a slap in the face of George Lucas's trilogies.
You know what they could have done to really make this easier? Is they could have just made Rey the son of Luke or whoever. I think that would have made it 20. That would have made it so much easier, because then it would have been like, okay, I understand. You know what I
but
mean?
then it would have been true incest with the whole Raylo thing.
Yeah.
Well, if I was writing it, then I wouldn't have that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, very true.
You know what's funny? Also,
the thing is, a lot of people are still saying it's incest because Anakin is Palpatine's son, but
And they
I tend to
confirmed
remain consistent and keep my integrity in my videos and stuff. So I actually did a video where I actually pointed out that the person who wrote Vader 25, the controversial comic that suggested that Palpatine did indeed create Anakin, he actually came out and said on the 23rd of December last year, the dark side does not provide a good or a whatchamacallit narrative. It does not provide a narrative that one should, or reliable narrative. That's the word I was looking for. And I'm like, so he basically confirmed that that vision was just the dark side manipulating him. Okay, he's not Anakin's father. That's good. All right, awesome. I have a smidgen of respect for Disney now, but not really. But so yeah, the whole Raylo thing is no longer incestual, but it still doesn't make sense.
it
They
doesn't,
spent the
because
last 2 movies trying to kill each other.
exactly. Also,
And then
here's
she actually went dark side and did kill his ass, or almost killed his ass.
wait a minute. I just realized there's 2 things. Finn was gonna say something to Rey, but he never says it. Like, I think they cut that out of the film, and they didn't
Yeah,
realize
he was going to be force sensitive, from what I understood. In the 3-hour cut, apparently,
He
it
is
actually
force
shows him
sensitive
moving-
in this one.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah,
he was.
He was actually
Yep.
he actually shows him moving unlocking some kind of space, a little door when he was on the Star Destroyer, but they cut that
Oh.
out apparently. And
Well,
if I'm not,
they do.
I'm not mistaken, they've even thought that maybe Rey could possibly be a Kenobi. Would that have been better?
I would have liked it better if she was a Kenobi, but
That
then
actually
it
would
would
have
have
been cool, but
I mean, it would have given me my Kenobi, my man, kind of moment. But I mean, Palpatine, or her being a Palpatine, it doesn't make sense. You want to know why? Because even in the EU, Palpatine did not care about pleasures of the flesh. He did not care about mating. Yes, there was Yvonne Izard, who was basically rumored to be the mistress of Palpatine, but she wasn't. She was favorable to Palpatine, but she never got in his pants, you know? So, because he didn't care about that. So here's the question. Who's Palpatine's mate?
Yeah, exactly.
that's
Who is this? Who's the woman that kind of climbed on the shriveled mushroom and took a ride? Who braved the dark side? Who took a ride on the dark side, you know? I could go all day, folks.
Well,
Maybe,
here's
I,
my-
guess,
But
I guess that woman wanted some of Palpatine's, ultimate power.
it's
Yeah.
unlimited power.
Unlimited
Yeah.
Unlimited
power.
Yeah.
Okay, once again, the thing that, again, overall, like, I look at this now as a full trilogy. Like, this trilogy is going to be like, if I have kids and I have to introduce them to Star Wars, I'm going to be like, do not watch 7 through 9. It's not going to make any sense. It won't.
Just tell them that 7 through 9 is just fan fiction.
Exactly.
Very bad
Disney
fan-
fan,
or very
bad fan
poor-
fiction.
Poor fan fiction right there.
I mean, here's the thing, folks. If Leia was a Jedi all along, why the hell did Rey go to Octu to look or to train under Luke?
Poe should have been with Finn when he met Rey, while Poe pilots the Falcon because he's the one. That's what I'm saying. Rey was never established to be a pilot. Like if they established that in the first one, like oh, and this is the thing I
Yeah.
have the issue with some of the characters, right? Is like like when they introduced Luke, right?
Exactly.
They said, hey, listen, he works on a farm, he has pilot experience, and he talks about how he kills womp rats. So that explains how he's a solid pilot, right? And he gains experience over the course of the film. With this one, there is no explanation for how Rey is like a great pilot that can handle the freaking Falcon and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And so I feel like Disney had so many chances to really showcase Rey as a better character. Like, listen, I like Rey. I like what she brings into the table. I think she's a good actor. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? But the thing is her character is so bland because it's like she's a Mary Sue. You know, I usually don't say, but she is at this point.
Especially in the second one.
Yeah.
Especially in the third one, because if you really think about it, all the powers she uses, you need training for those powers.
Hey,
I'm sorry, was it ever established that Leia was good at force healing? No. Was it ever established that Leia knew how to bend freaking laser bolts? No. The only person that we know that could bend lasers was Anakin Skywalker in Episode 5, where Han tried to shoot him and he used his hand to stop him and deflect him. But it's like, regardless of whatever, you need training for that shit.
Yeah, Luke had to get
and
through
you
the
need training by somebody who knows how to do it.
Do it.
Exactly. Do it.
In the comments, Jeffrey, let's see. In a way, it does make sense. Rey is a Palpatine. She was built up to be the greatest ever, and yet she ends up being despised for destroying the Skywalkers and stealing their name. Yeah, technically, she killed 3 Skywalkers. She killed more Skywalkers than the freaking Emperor did.
Holy shit! Yeah, you're right. She did, didn't she? How'd she wait?
Or
how did
she's
she kill
responsible. She's responsible. Well, she didn't kill. Let's see.
No, Leia went out on her own terms. Let's be fair.
Yeah,
so
I can't.
So did Luke, so to speak. Or, well, actually, no. Luke was not in Episode 8. I cannot say that Luke was in Episode 8. I have to say it was Jake Skywalker.
That's what I've heard.
The illegitimate triplet.
But like I said, man, like Rey, like I wouldn't have mind if Rey, like how do I want to word this? Like I wouldn't have mind the whole Palpatine storyline if they alluded to that. Like, oh, maybe she's hearing voices because apparently Palpatine was pulling the strings the whole time. Which, you know, yeah, he's very influential and he's one of the most powerful, Force users ever. But the thing is they needed to establish that, right? Like, if I was directing it, you need to establish like, okay, we know where Finn comes from. Like, we know he's a stormtrooper, so I don't know how accurate it is. No, I'm just joking. But, the whole thing for me with this was that it's never established that Rey got these powers. Like, I was so confused about how the serpent in that cave was hurt because I think they actually fought it and they cut the scene out, but it was just really awkward. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, what the hell? And then like she heals it. I'm like, where did she get these powers? It's never explained at all. Literally, those were the things that Anakin was trying to learn to help save Padme. Those were the things. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my god! It's like she's like, and then everything. Like, think about it, right? She had a moment where if she had killed Kylo, that would have been a possible character development. She kills him in anger, and she feels completely distraught about what she's done, or something like that. Then she just heals him because, and also the lightsaber duels were kind of lame, in my opinion.
No, actually, I thought this was good. Or when she went full fucking dark side on it.
Well, that was probably the only good part. That was probably the best one, but the other ones were just like, what the hell? It's just like they hit swords until one stops.
Yeah, I think that the last one was actually pretty decent. To be honest, Kylo was kind of winning that fight for the most part, and actually toying with her. This actually shows that Kylo could actually wasn't losing as badly as he was in the first battle, but that was because he was mainly injured quite a bit. To be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I also
He was
did
about to
like
strike her
Dark Ray
down.
versus Light Ray. That was pretty decent. I mean, the way that Dark Ray used her lightsaber to close around the blue or Light Ray's saber, that was actually pretty ingenious looking.
Actually, the Skywalker in The Last Jedi was Luke's evil clone.
Yeah, I know. It was Luke Skywalker with the W. But yeah. Another thing is what was it? I mean, there's just so many things that are wrong here in this movie. I mean, take a pick. I mean, pick a scene.
Literally
Why
go
was the
scene by
freaking
scene.
Hobbit in this movie?
Yeah, like you can go scene by scene too to point
Also,
out the
the
issue.
pandering moment. You all know lesbian kiss, right?
Yeah.
Notice the age difference between those two?
Yeah.
It was
She's-
kind of weird. I mean, it didn't bother me about that kiss. It was just for half a
That
second.
didn't
But
bother me
yeah.
either. I mean, they
I
had
was
to
just
have their
like-
lesbian moment. Let's be
Yeah.
fair. I mean, fine. People have
That was
different
definitely
things.
Kath Lame's thing.
But-
right there.
The problem is you picked two people to kiss that were 30 years difference in age. What the actual fuck?
But then again, like I get you, yeah, and trust me, even I was like, what the hell? But at the same time, like I'm more like I was kind of like, I kind of threw that to the wayside because it was like half a second. It wasn't like a plot point. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, they didn't overshadow it with the whole "hey, I'm gay" thing. No, we didn't care about that. But the thing that I didn't take issue with the kiss itself. What I took issue with was
The age gap.
the age difference. It's like this isn't freaking Jackie O and Aristotle. I'm sorry. This is a freaking woman kissing another woman that is 30 years younger than her. What the frick is wrong with you people?
I agree. And
I mean, that is inappropriate. Well, but age is just a number. They're both consenting adults. Yeah, but let's see here. Make her, let's dial it back 30 more years, shall we?
I mean,
There, finally, or it's inappropriate. There you go.
you know, another
Like
thing.
a 40-year-old kissing a 10-year-old.
I'm trying to think. This plot really. Oh my god. Okay, so the bounty hunter chick, she looked
Lori
cool.
Bliss?
Yes, she looked
Gary
cool.
Russell. Yeah.
Carrie Russell.
Yeah,
Carrie
Russell.
she had the ability to make such an impact. Like, she was on the freaking poster. It's like, and they were trying to advertise like, oh, but it's like this movie was literally get object to get to place. It was with the star map thing, the Sith Wayfinder, excuse me.
Yeah.
It was with the freaking stupid key to get onto the ship. It's like, what the fuck? I'm like, why? Like, it's like, oh my god, it's just like, I feel like I wouldn't have minded if Chewbacca lived, but I feel like they should have not spoiled that. I think they should have been like, oh, Kylo might have the way to the Sith Wayfinder, so let's go save him. And then I ironically find Chewbacca or something like that. I don't know. I think that would have been a lot better.
Her sensing him does kind of make sense because, well, that is actually something that they really didn't touch on a lot, is that people can sense other people, especially familiar presences that they know. So when she was using the Force to sense Kylo Ren on his ship, yeah, she also sensed another familiar presence, which was Chewie. So it is not too much of a stretch that she could actually sense him. Now,
That is. Oh, I'm just reading a comment. Yeah, that's true. Anakin was 9 when he fell for a 14-year-old Padme, and Leia was 19 when she fell for Han Solo, who was 32. I get that.
exactly. Wait, who was 32?
Yeah.
Wait, Anakin.
I believe that's
Leia
in the
was
lore.
19. Exactly. Yes, it is. I mean, but remember,
Han Solo was that old?
30 years. Come on, man.
I mean,
30 years difference
I will-
is a stretch, and it's pushing it. I mean, a lesbian sugar mama, really?
I mean, like I said, that plot point. I don't even know if it's even a plot point. It's again when it's for half a second, I'm not gonna like lose my shit
Neither am
over
I.
it. You know what
I mean, like I said, it's not the kiss, it's the age difference. But also, I mean, what?
How'd y'all feel about Rose Tico being a background character?
Dude, she got gutted like so bad.
Yeah.
Man, they gutted her worse than they gutted Drew Barrymore in Scream.
Okay. The microphone is good.
I mean-
okay, cool.
Be a little bit more optimistic, god damn it. Okay, yeah, it's just gonna be freaking awesome. Oh, it's like, oh, bitch, shut up.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever
please.
seen?
Hmm.
Have you guys ever seen the Team 4 Stars Helsing Ultimate abridged?
I don't think so.
I've watched Hellsing Bridge, but I've not seen that one.
Where it's the one where he says, "Jesus fucking Christ, I missed you" to the Queen, and the guy says,
Oh, I didn't
"Hey,"
see
and
that
he's like, "Oh, shut up." I mean,
didn't see that
basically
one. I know
when
someone mentioned that to me.
yeah, basically when somebody or when there was the whole dismissing what's his name because he's trying to be optimistic. After they told him to be optimistic, it's like, "Oh, shut up."
Yeah.
I mean, you know what, Rose? Nobody likes you. Go away.
the
Be a
thing
bully.
that
This is where we can be a bully. Bitch, nobody liked you. Go away.
literally, like, oh my god, I wouldn't have minded if, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I don't mind it if they add new characters, but the problem was like, then it's like her not being in this film or having enough screen time completely wastes her character overall.
Mhm.
Well, here's another thing. They disrespected Carrie Fisher's character, Leia. I mean, Leia didn't become a full Jedi because she had a vision and she realized if she kept her lightsaber, it would kill her son, or she would kill her son. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
so you're saying that Leia would fear what she would become? You think that she would commit matricide or filicide, basically?
Sure. That
So-
was the reason why she gave up her Jedi training.
Yeah, it's because she had a vision where if she had kept her saber, she would kill her son. It would cause the death of her son. And
It
I'm
was
like,
Palpatine. It was always Palpatine. Let's just everything is Palpatine's fault.
I mean, it's just like,
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Palpatine may. I wish they would have better explained why Luke was willing to kill his nephew. I wish they would have sort of retconned that idea of Luke just being afraid, because that's something I never agreed with. Because no way in hell.
I mean,
would
it's like that meme that they have. It's like
Yeah.
they're still good in him, and then later, or 32 years later, this little bitch is having bad dreams. Time to die.
Yeah.
What I
But
think they
here's
should.
another thing.
I'm gone.
What does Leia say to Rey? Don't be afraid of who you are, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was Rey, or why? Rey shouldn't. If Rey finally learned not to be afraid of who she is, why'd she take the name Skywalker?
Yeah, she should have been like, I'm Rey Palpatine, and I don't care what anyone thinks about my name, or something.
Or she
Yeah,
could
it
have called
would've been-
herself Rey Solo, in honor of
Yeah,
Ben.
I mean, exactly. That would, yeah. But I mean, if she would have said, "I'm Rey Palpatine," that old woman probably would have been like,
like,
"Fuck."
like,
She'd
She
be
might
like,
have had a heart attack and died.
No, here's a better ending. Oh my god, I just came up with the best ending ever to Star Wars Episode 9. She says,
Oh yeah,
"I'm
Jeff, you
Rey
made a video about
Palpatine."
that, Jeffrey. That's a very interesting video. I'm going to link that video.
All right.
I'll just see that.
Yeah, here's the perfect ending. Go back to talking about movies. Good. Back to yeah. Sorry about that, Pixelated Nightmares. She's probably talking about when I kind of accidentally hijacked the stream. But here's the thing. Best ending for Episode 9. She admits that she's a Palpatine to that old woman with the weird beast of burden that looks like it doesn't belong at Tatooine at all, because it never, or there wasn't anything like that at all. But anyway, she says, Oh, or Ray who? Ray Palpatine. Oh, okay, I'm your mom, or I'm your grandmother.
That would have made.
That would have been cool. Or she says Ray Palpatine, and that woman just pulls a blaster and blasts or blows her head off.
well, I think would have the perfect no. I think for me, I think that the problem was you can't. I will admit, like this was like it's like a plane crash. It's like it's going to. I felt it was gonna like probably end in not in the way we wanted it. So like JJ was like it's like he was trying to land the plane as best he could to brace the fall, but even though and he couldn't stop the fall, and that's why. But at the end of the day, it's the responsibility of the overseers of the not the director. Like yeah, they're part of it, but it's more so whatchamacallit. It's all about what's the word I'm looking for? It's about the direction, like I mentioned. Like you can't go like think about the Marvel films, right? I think Disney owns Marvel at this point, right?
Yeah, they do.
How is it that they had a much better direction or have a much better plan than you can argue, well, that's before they acquired him, whatever. But still, that's no excuse for what occurred, you know what I mean? Like it's like, dude, the other films in that universe are more clearly, evident of what they're trying to do. You know what I mean? And that's why I get rubbed the wrong way, because it's like, how is it that the Marvel films are much better than this? Like it's crazy. Even I couldn't believe it. I'm like, oh, this is just really weird.
Yeah, I'm guessing probably because they definitely know how they have confident directors, and they basically have they have good storytelling. To be honest, I think that's what it was. I think they know exactly. I think they had. I don't know if they had a full plan, but they at least knew what they were going to follow through, and they decided to execute it. There wasn't, extensive reshooting. Like this had some definite reshoots. This happened actually with Rogue One, which I can't remember. Did you like Rogue One or not?
Oh, I loved Rogue One. I loved Rogue One.
Yeah. And that apparently had some reshoots, and I think the original director didn't even do them. I think it might have been someone else, but I could be wrong on that. But
Rogue One had extensive reshoots, but the one thing I will say, and yes, a lot of people will probably flip their shit, Kathleen Kennedy made a good decision for Rogue One. She was the one that wanted the Vader scene put in at the end.
That was yeah. Now that someone had told me about that, and I'm gonna just say,
so in one way, she actually did do a good thing.
Yeah, just too bad she did not respect the original Star Wars characters like Luke and Han. But Han, of course, Harrison Ford wanted to leave and get killed. So
I
he wanted
that.
to die in Episode 5. To be fair,
I understand that. Yeah, and I don't have an issue with his death, by any means. I felt like, hey, you know what? He did his thing. I have no ill will towards Harrison Ford. He's one of my favorite actors, and I think and I was like, that's the thing. When they brought back Lando, I'm like it felt like it was more like, oh, hey guys, it's me, Lando. Remember me? I'm like. I'm like, oh, it's hey Lando, and then I'm like, what is he doing here? It's just he's just there. It's not you know what I mean? It's just there's no predisposition for what the hell he's doing there. It's just oh, Lando's here, doesn't explain.
Well,
it's
also, why was Lando hunting down shit with Luke? I mean, Lando and Luke, they never really had that big of a rapport yet. No.
Yeah.
I mean, Han and Lando, definitely, but Luke and Lando, it's what is this? The L dynamic?
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't even
the L dynamic duo of L's?
Yeah, looking back, Lando didn't seem to really do much, to be honest. I don't know if you heard me,
the thing is, I actually did like Lando.
Sorry, go ahead.
I actually did like Lando because when he pulls off his helmet and he says, Wookiees always stand out in a crowd, it's you know what? this is pulling on the right heartstrings. This is pulling on the right strings. Now, yes, some people might not, or might be wondering what he was doing there. Well, maybe he never got off the planet when Luke and Lando were there looking for that thing. But also, he was a strategically placed operative. Now, here's another thing. The reason, and this is a slight bias, when I saw frickin' Billy D. Williams aged up like that, and I saw him at that age, god damn it, he looks like he looks like a black version of my dad. Except with hair. And I'm like, huh, son of a bitch. It's like looking at my dad. Just, he's black instead. That's fine. I don't care. The dude, or because my dad and Lando kind of have that kind of, the mustache is what basically did it. It's the same goddamn fucking mustache. But it's also the way that he aged. He looks a lot like my dad. If you actually look like, or take a look at my dad's picture and a picture of him, or both of them side by side, you would actually notice a facial different or facial similarities. I mean, the only difference is race. But if you looked at both of them back in the 70s, it'd be like, no, they don't look anything like. Rogue One should have been Leia's 11.
Like Leia's coordinates with the Rogue One group to steal the Death Star's plan in a heist war film.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they could only afford one more shot of a digital face replacement, so they did that one for Leia. But they actually did very well with Tarkin, I will say that.
Oh, Tarkin was amazing. Considering, I get it. You know, I completely understand.
Rogue One
yeah.
is the only Star Wars movie I like. And I'm going to tell you why. It's not because it was a perfect film, but by no stretch is it a perfect film. That movie has flaws.
Yep.
But it's because it answered a question that I had ever since I was 2 freaking years old and saw the episode 4 crawl. What was the first major victory that the rebels had against the evil Galactic Empire? The Battle of Scarif answers this. It's like, okay, the Battle of Scarif, that's how they did it. My curiosity has been sated.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think that what I love what Rogue One did is it helped tie the ends together for the first couple, for from 3 to 4.
Episode 3 and 4, yeah.
Leia's 11, basically, yeah.
Leia's 11, basically, is Star Wars version of... Leia's 11. Okay, now I get it.
That's why I was kind of confused. I'm like, what? Like,
yeah, it's like, what's...
I was trying to figure that out myself.
Leia's 11. I'm like,
Or was it on her 11 o'clock or something?
Yeah, exactly, right?
No, but like I said, like, this film, I completely understand. Like, look, if you're coming to this film to just watch it and enjoy it, you'll enjoy it. It's like the Michael Bay situation. It's like it's like the Michael Bay thing. It's like, hey, like, you can go watch it, you'll probably enjoy it, but like if you really sit down and analyze it, you'd be like, what in the flying hell am I watching? But when you kind of look more into it, it's just like, okay, like, yeah, this is bad.
Yeah, I probably would still take it over Terminator Dark Fate, if you know what I mean.
Okay, yes. Most
oh my
definitely.
god, I could go all day on what was wrong with Terminator Dark Fate.
Yeah. I mean, I barely, like, I've only heard, like, luckily I didn't watch it. I've only had people just pretty much explain. No, but people explained the plot to me. So I already know.
How does an 11-year-old see a plane crash in front of her and not flinch?
Amazing.
I mean, seriously, they show a plane crashing like 200 yards away from this girl that's like 11 years old. She doesn't, she's just looking at there like, what the okay. Plane just crashed in front of me. So what? It's
amazing.
Like, and somebody's like, shock can do some weird things. It's like, No, that's not shock. Shock would have given her a fucking expression. Shock would have shown anybody that has seen a plane crash in front of them, especially after 9/11. Shock would put a freaking expression on your face that says, holy shit, a plane just crashed in front of me. So yeah, that I could go all day on Terminator Dark Fate. All of these crap ass movies of 2019, I could go all freaking night. But anyway, I actually do gotta start going because it's after midnight here and I gotta get up early in the morning.
I understand, man.
So
thanks for stopping by, Orange. Go ahead and plug your channel if you want. Go ahead and check out Space Cowboy. He does some interesting commentary on the Dallas Cowboys, which we can discuss right after you leave, I guess. Because I heard that Jason Garrett's going to be officially gone, I think.
I mean, I saw the report, but I'm not a fully, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not having my hopes up because I know Garrett. I mean, not Garrett, the Joneses. Yeah.
Well, he's still enamored with his son, yeah.
All right. So my plug, basically, Orange Hat Reviews. I do movie reviews, entertainment review, entertainment news, all the controversial stuff. I'll give it to you straightforward. I won't bullshit you. I won't shill for anybody. I maintain integrity, and I also take requests. If you guys want me to review something, I'll do my best to review it if it's
review
in
cats.
my power. No. That one I will say no to. That one's looks an awful. Absolute freaking no. I will say no. But yeah, other than that, folks, yep, I'm Orange Hat Reviews. You can find me on the channel of the same name, Orange Hat Reviews. I'm trying to get to 300. I wanted to get to 300 before New Year's, but it didn't work. But try to get me to 300 before my birthday. How about that? February 1st.
You gotta take in the steps. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Have a good night, and I'll catch you all on the next one.
Take care, Orange Hat.
Guys.
Alrighty. So I guess we'll shift our attention to the Cowboys for a bit.
Yeah.
I was actually waiting to do because for me, I even said I'm not doing any like I said I'm not doing any videos unless Garrett's gone.
Yeah.
But the thing is like give me a second. The one thing is like the report specifically. Now keep in mind the report has no backing to it. Okay, just as that's up. Like the report does not have a backing to it. All they said is like it's a rumor.
Yeah, didn't Ed Werder supposedly report it at first, but it was just a rumor, I think it was. He's not exactly been the most reliable.
Not to get politically, but apparently World War III is freaking trending on my I already know what's going on. I'm not going to get into that. Listen, I know it's my degree. God damn it. Let's keep it with sports. All right, let's see. Jason Garrett's trending. So ESPN's Ed Werder reported on Thursday night the Cowboys owner Jerry Jones and executive vice president Stephen Jones have decided that Jason Garrett will not be the team's head coach moving forward. Where it is? Here it is. The Sports Center report specifically says the following. It says the same thing. Like Cowboys owner Jerry Jones and executive vice president Stephen Jones have decided that Jason Garrett will not be part of the organization moving forward. A source tells. Now the thing is, right, is that there has not been a confirmed report of this. This is just I'm just reporting.
You just reporting what was said. Just like apparently, like on the very eve of the 31st, they said that the entire staff had been fired or something like that. It wasn't really completely true.
Yeah.
But go ahead. Didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. Either way, so I did some looking into it. Again, this is just a report. Okay. Now, if the report is true, this is something that we've needed to do. Now, I hear people being like, I've been from the peanut gallery. People are going to be like, oh, the players got the coach fired. Well, here's my argument against that. If the players really got him fired, then why is it that he didn't get fired between 2011 2013 or between
Yeah.
2016 to now. You know, like you clearly can see you clearly can see that there is an issue there.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
hilarious. It's hilarious how people can keep defending this dude, and they'll be like, "Oh, it's Dak's fault or it's the running back's fault, or it's the." No,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we were on the same level.
Yeah,
You know.
it's a typical blame game that I'm tired of hearing. It's always the player's fault. I mean, yeah, they have bad games, but it's also up to the coaching staff to put them in that position to succeed and maximize their talent and take advantage of the other team's weaknesses.
Mm-hmm. And so, okay, let me just take a
I
look.
mean, let's excuse me. Let's not forget it's the same thing that happened with Romo. They blame Romo on certain games. I mean, the only one game I can remember they really blew it one was the Detroit game in 2011. I haven't forgotten it.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
But there was that next game against New England, and apparently Jason Garrett was really afraid of letting it loose, and he kept him conservative for the most part. And we lost that game.
Now here's the dealio. Now, the fact of the matter is that yes, Jason Garrett's probably gone. Yeah, he's probably going to be leaving. That's not even a question. But the fact of the matter is, who's going to be his replacement? That like I've said this through even before we got to this point in the season or the off season. At this point now, if you're going to get rid of him, they probably know who they're going after. Now, luckily, the Cowboys are only competing now with three other franchises: the Browns, the Giants, and the Panthers. So there's not a whole lot. So we don't got to worry about that.
Mhm.
However, I will tell you this from reports that I've been seeing, and I'm not I'm not like usually when I say this, people think I'm like, oh, you believe it? No, like I'm just saying what I'm here. So apparently there have been top-rated Oklahoma recruits. More specifically, there was a 5-star recruit. I think he was 5th in his class. He decommitted from Oklahoma, considering what's going on with the rumors of Lincoln Riley, and people were like, "Oh no, it's just because the LSU game." Listen, don't take that as like an indication of how he's going to be in the NFL, because listen, no one was going to beat LSU this year. Hell no, maybe Clemson, but no one was beating LSU this year. But with that being said, I do believe I'm having a strong feeling it's going to be Lincoln Riley based off of what I'm seeing. Do I want him? I won't mind it. I think that you need people have been saying don't go to the college ranks, all this other stuff. Now, I've been kind of in a weird state of like I don't want Lincoln Riley, but at the same time I wouldn't mind him. I just think that the Cowboys need to start and people be like, well, it's going to be on training all over. And well, no, because Lincoln Riley's been coaching since 2003, and he's been in numerous positions. Let me pull it up really quickly if you want to say something.
Sure. Didn't Lincoln Riley run a pro style type of offense? I think.
I think he did, if I remember. It was either that or a spread offense. I don't remember.
Spread offense. Could the spread offense really benefit Dak to some degree?
He did it at Mississippi State, if I remember.
Yeah, so that could be. I wouldn't mind him, but I don't know if he would be ready to be an NFL head coach. That's why I wouldn't mind Urban Meyer being the top dog. He can definitely kind of mold Lincoln Riley into a good coach, and then when Meyer does eventually leave, Riley would have it all in his head. He'll be able to figure it out. He'll be able to do a good job with the offense, do all the spread formations. My big question is how is he with the running game? Because I've heard Greg Roman being thrown around, and the fact that he made Lamar Jackson a pretty damn good quarterback, 36 touchdowns and only 6 picks, didn't have the amount of yards, but the fact he had those kind of stats, that's pretty fucking good. Not only that, he's made Alex Smith a very good quarterback. I heard he worked with Tyrod Taylor and had him have a passable year to some degree. And he did well with Colin Kaepernick, I think, too, as well. But the question is, I think Greg Roman would be a good fit if you were to have him, because at least he's been in the NFL. Yeah,
so here's the thing. The thing with Lincoln Riley is he's never had experience in the NFL, at all. He's young. Yeah. He played quarterback at Texas Tech. He coached at Texas Tech from 2003 to 2009 as I want to say, what was he? He was like basically he was an assistant on the coaching staff for a bit. Then he became the wide receiving coach. Then he ended up becoming the offensive coordinator / quarterbacks coach at East Carolina. He then became the assistant head coach at East Carolina. Like he basically assumed a lot of offensive roles, and it revolved around the quarterback, offensive coordinator, and assistant head coach. Then he went to Oklahoma as the offensive coordinator / QB coach, and now he's been the head coach. And he's gone 36-6 as a head coach, and he's 0-3 in bowl games and 0-3 in the college football playoff. Now, I will admit, he has done a great job. No, to be fair, he's only been a head coach since 2017. So for 3 straight years, he's managed to get to the college football playoff.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, he's won the Big 12 championship 3 straight years. That is nothing to blindside.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you look at Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett has coached the Cowboys. He's been a player from 1989 to 2004. He became a coach, and he obviously played at Princeton, but that's besides the point. So he has NFL experience as a player. Granted, he's backup, but that's besides the point. So he was a QB coach in Miami.
Yeah, for about 2005 to 2006.
2006, and then he was been
hired
in Dallas.
as defensive coordinator before he was hired. Before Wade Phillips was hired, I think, right?
No.
I think he was hired first before Wade was. I believe.
Yeah, I think if I remember, it's just been a while.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part. Wade didn't get a chance to hire his own people. I wonder if anything, I remember back in 2009 they tried to get Dan Reeves involved, but that didn't exactly work out. And the rumor is Garrett had something to do with this, but then apparently Jerry said it was the amount of hours that Reeves wanted to work. So apologize for throwing that out there. I just wanted to.
No, you're good. But yeah, and then I mean, Garrett has had more on the job training than Riley has had, but I'm actually about to pop off in a bit because it is getting late. But I'll just say this: I do think if you go with the college route, it's not a big issue because based off of what I'm seeing, I think that's where you got to go. You have to. I don't want to retread. I don't mind Mike McCarthy. I didn't mind Ron Rivera, but I think you could do better.
Yeah.
You know what you're getting. But anyways, I'm going to head out, man. Thank you so much for having me on. I'll talk to you later.
Take care, man. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. And that was Space Cowboy 17. I would have asked him to plug in his channel, but it seemed like he had to get going in a hurry. So, but go ahead, search for him. Whoever's still watching, sub to him, give him a like. Does some really good job on his Cowboys content. He's very detailed and gives his thoughts, and he basically states the facts and opinions on what can really benefit the Cowboys as a whole, what can make them a lot more successful and in the long term. So definitely go ahead and check him out. So, and definitely check out Orange Hat Reviews and his reviews, stuff like that. I'm trying to figure out if I'm subbed to Orange Hat. I don't know if I am. I know I follow him on Twitter, but I don't think I actually am. So, no. I think we now both have the same amount of subs. Sorry that I didn't do any sooner, man, but now you got your 284 subs. So I don't know if I'm at the same. Yeah. Yep. But you know what? I probably should go ahead and get going. I've been streaming for nearly 4 hours, so doubtful that anyone else wants to join in. So for those that did, chat away on all that, I appreciate it. It's always great to have some very interesting thoughts and some theories, and people that have joined on the stream, give their thoughts on certain things, like their thoughts on the rise of Skywalker and Cowboys. It's a very, gosh, I'm not lost for words, but it's a very interactive community where we basically have different thoughts, but we all want nothing but the best for our franchises, whether it's in movies or sports or anything. It's always a great feeling to have. And apparently, several more people have are now watching, so I don't know what's going on. So I might stay on for maybe a minute or two. I was going to go ahead and leave, but if someone wants to pop in, feel free. But if someone wants to give a last minute detail or whatever, so. Come on, reveal yourselves, whoever you are. Okay. You know what? I probably should go ahead and get going. So, thanks for stopping by. And as always, I hope to continue on with my stream. Oh, so Jeffrey says you'll be streaming. Oh, let me show that. You'll be streaming with OG Star Wars. That's cool. What time would that be, Jeffrey? Where do you see Garrett going from here? Anywhere else but fucking Dallas. That's all I got to say about that. Fuck Jason Garrett. He should go home and bang his wife 127 times for all I fucking care. Maybe he can catch his wife cheating on somebody and he can watch out and go back to Jerry and beg him for a GM job somewhere or something. Or maybe Jerry should take back those dirty pictures that Garrett has of him or something. So yeah. But anyway, hopefully it's as far away from fucking Dallas as possible. His archaic scheme needed to fucking go. And so does his little cuck smile and cheerleading attitude and clapping. So his clapping is no longer needed here. Probably 5 p.m., so around 4 p.m. my time. Well, I hope to make it to it if I ever get around to it. So I'm assuming we're going to be talking about Rise of Skywalker and other Star Wars related stuff. New York Giants can have him. Yeah, they can. We'll see how he can do with Danny Dimes if he actually makes him into a good quarterback. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I probably really should get going. So, anyways, fellas, thanks for stopping by, and I'll definitely see you later. Take care and bye bye.